Welcome to Assurer Asset Advisory Private Limited. Our service, your prosperity. We deals with stock market training, commodities, currency, mutual fund, health insurance, travel insurance, personal accident insurance, motor insurance, life insurance, financial planning, GST registration, GST return filing, DSC, income tax filing, balance sheet preparation, GST audit, company audit, TDS works, etc. Stock market training classes at Assurer Asset Advisory Private Limited starts in the first and third week of every month, morning at 8 a.m. and afternoon at 3:30 p.m. Welcome to Assurer Asset Advisory Private Limited. Our service, your prosperity. We deals with stock market training, commodities, currency, mutual fund, health insurance, travel insurance, personal accident insurance, motor insurance, life insurance, financial planning, GST registration, GST return filing, DSC, income tax filing, balance sheet preparation, GST audit, company audit, TDS works, etc. Stock market training classes at Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited starts in the first and third week of every month, morning at 8 a.m. and afternoon at 3:30 p.m.
Sumo bro. Kino kya 24 ka. Kano to pointer to option.
Welcome to Assurer Asset Advisory Private Limited. Our service, your prosperity. We deals with stock market training, commodities, currency, mutual fund, health insurance, travel insurance, personal accident insurance, motor insurance, life insurance, financial planning, GST registration, GST return filing, DSC, income tax filing, balance sheet preparation, GST audit, company audit, TDS works, etc. Stock market training classes at Assurer Asset Advisory Pvt Limited starts in the first and third week of every month, morning at 8 a.m. and afternoon at 3:30 p.m.
Check, mic check, 1, 2, 3. A very good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen, our eminent speakers of today's event, and all our esteemed invitees. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to this unique event, Investors Awareness Meet, organized by the Assure Asset Advisory Pvt. Limited, the first wealth management company in Manipur, in association with IIFL Securities Limited, a leading finance and investment services company in India, and HDFC AMC, one of the top asset management company in India. This event itself is a unique opportunity for us to explore the financial world and to learn from today's esteemed speakers, our panel today. For us here in Manipur, we are used to the traditional models of investments such as land and gold, perhaps because of our restricted knowledge of the world of stock trading out there. So this event, Investors Awareness Meet, organized by Assure Asset Advisory Pvt. Limited in association with IIFL Securities Limited and HDFC AMC, will serve as a window of opportunity for us to learn about the possibility of massive wealth creation through secured investments. And before we dive right into this event, I would like to inform each and every one of you that this entire event is being broadcasted live in Kutsem Live, and I would like to request all of you to kindly share the link to your friends so that everyone, the world here in Manipur, can witness this spectacular event all together at the same time. It is a unique privilege and an honor to welcome our speakers. First and foremost, Mr. Sanjiv Bashin, Director, IIFL Securities Limited, Mr. Vikash Jain, Associate Director, IIFL Securities Limited, Mr. Sunil Bandhari, Branch Manager, HDFC AMC, Mr. Subhasis Bose, Assistant Vice President, IIFL Securities, and Mr. Oinam Patel Singh, President and CEO, Assure Asset Advisory Pvt. Limited. I would like to welcome you all to Imphal, and I would like to know if the weather is treating you well here. Let me take this moment to felicitate our eminent speakers of this event, and for this I would like to request Mr. Oinam Patel Singh, the President and CEO of AAA Pvt. Limited, to do the honors of felicitating our speakers. First and foremost, Mr. Sanjiv Bashin, Director, IIFL Securities Limited. As a token of appreciation, of high appreciation and thankfulness, we would like to present a memento of the state animal of Manipur, the Sangai, and a beautiful traditional scarf, Lengyanfi. I would like to request our lady officials to kindly do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Sanjiv Bashin with a big round of applause. Now I would like to request Mr. Vikash Jain, Associate Director, IIFL Securities Limited, to kindly come up on stage. To do the honors, Mr. Oinam Patel, the President and CEO of AAA Pvt. Limited, is there. As a token of appreciation, we would like to gift him a memento of the state animal of Manipur, the Sangai, and a beautiful traditional scarf with a traditional motif. The lady officials will kindly do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause. Now I would like to welcome Mr. Sunil Bandhari, Branch Manager, HDFC AMC, to kindly come up on stage. To do the honors, Mr. Oinam Patel, President and CEO, AAA Pvt Limited. A beautiful Manipuri traditional lengyanfi scarf and a symbolic state animal of Manipur, Sangai. Thank you so much. Now I would like to welcome Mr. Subhasis Bose, Assistant Vice President, IIFL, Securities Limited, to kindly come on stage. Mr. Oinam Patel, the President and CEO of AAA Pvt Limited, felicitating our speaker, Mr. Subhasis Bose. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Oinam Patel, for felicitating our speakers. I promise you that there are many key takeaways from this event. Stocks ki baat, Sanjiv Bashin ki saath. And you will yourself discover as this event unfolds. And without any further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Ningthoujam Singh, Operation Head Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege and pleasure on behalf of Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited, AAA, to welcome all the distinguished guests, invitees, and dear colleagues. On this wonderful evening, AAA is all set to organize Investor Awareness Seminar in association with IIFL Securities Limited and the HDFC AMC, in an ambition to reach out to the people from all walks of life and create the awareness about the benefit of investing in capital market. To this evening, we have very knowledgeable and stock market veteran and who has been quite experienced in the field of financial market and very popular face in the business news channel. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a hearty welcome to Mr. Sanjiv Bashin, Director, IIFL Securities Limited. A cordial welcome to Mr. Vikash Jain, Associate Director, IIFL Securities Limited, and Mr. Subhasis Bose, Assistant Vice President, IIFL Securities Limited. Last but not the least, Mr. Sunil Bandhari, Branch Manager from HDFC AMC, to be our distinguished guest for today's program. We are delighted and would like to thank IIFL Securities Limited and HDFC AMC for extending support to AAA for organizing such program at Imphal. I would like to thank the print and electronic media person who are covering today's program and helping to reach out such valuable information to the thousands and lakhs of people across Manipur. I believe that Investor Awareness Program is the one of the initiative to educate and protect the investor and help to reach out the individual saving into direct investment. Today's program will be full of learning and excitement. Once again, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ningthoujam Singh, Operation Head, AAA Pvt Limited. He extends his wholehearted and cordial welcome to all our speakers, as well as everyone present here for making this event, Investors Awareness Meet, an honorable one with all your presence. Without any further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Oinam Patel, President and CEO AAA Pvt Limited. Let's hear what he has to say about Investors Awareness Meet. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Sanjiv sir, for coming down to Imphal all the way to give your impeccable knowledge over here. And from my side, thank you to Mr. Vikash Jain also, and Sunil, thanks a lot, and Subhasis, thank you so much. I hope we'll be learning lots of things, and we have come almost all 2.5 years plus right now. And Sigi, sir, I will combine our mother tongue and English, so please don't mind for it, because I need to connect with my people, and I hope that this program is streamlined. Might be so many people across Manipur might be more watching this also. This is very, very unique, as Susma you mentioned, right? So this program is very, very unique, and we didn't do such kind of activities very frequently. But what happens is, since starting of our organization in the last 2.5 years, we have conducted 59 times. So let us check it out at screen. Yes, in the last 2.5 years, we have been going different Manipur masak naib organizations, institutions. We walk in and we have given presentations to different forums. This coming. Can anybody help out from Classic Hotel to be clear? This clarity is not here. Is it okay? Yes. Yeah. This is 59 times since we started our organization. Before starting koi organization je haudringa da Manipur ina khanbada karisu sigi maramda toramdabra haina khalle koi financial literacy and financial education gi mama kano sigi maramda. Aduna just I myself along with my junior singer, we are all professionals. I myself in the banking in the finance industry for last close to 18 years right now, and my juniors, they have 10 to 12 years of experience. When combined organizations, form we have covered across all the Manipur Public Service Commission, then again Manipur University, KAU, RIMS, Jenims, then the Imphal College, Oriental College, higher level institutions, almost all more than 40 plus covered. Then in-house ki oina every 2 months ta sigi seminars every 2 months in the last 2.5 years ta we have completed along with this one, the ongoing one is 59 seminars we have completed. Yeah. And I myself used to appear sometimes. I used to speak to radio channel da, TV channel da, then again cover da. I mean, sigi maram da khang na ba. How the financial literacy say khang da ba targadi. Akoy na I mean, paisa pay banat ka paisa sigi maram da tan banat ka. Aini tanjari paisa se kram ba channel da kram main ay pak tong ni hai pasi khang da badagi mayam na loina khang bi da bani in the last 5 years back, not 6 years back, 7 years back, so many people well educated oiba ground level the salwa university level da, then again director level da, IS officer level da, unaruba matam da, so many gaps. People sing na praja sing na khanbaga magi reality ga jam sound na khenabado. Angting yangse Manipur gi literacy rate say it is 79.85%. India gina 74.04%. Iba pa ba haibasi. Adu mu financial literate oiba haina jengba targati India gi lady say roughly around 24%. India gi financial literate rate say. Aduga when you look into global gi jengba targati 33%. This is the report given by one of the most consultant, financial consultant, S&P, Standard & Poor. Moina people report is they conducted this report across 140 countries. India gi report is na. According to saya in Haizakiba across ngasai Manipur gi masak nar institution na dagi masak nar well educated oiba sing unaru matam da ground level segi knowledge sam na walam basi. The India level is just only 24% katani literate oiri basi. Out of literacy rate is 74.04% ni. Manipur literacy rate say 79.85% ni. Adubu nga national gi figure. The number is there 24% dagi Manipur gi figure di aina khanbada yam na nemang bani aina khalle. Aduna sumaram oiraga mayana su yam toina su tabira magani in terms of hundreds of crore. I don't know how many crores that could be, hundreds to 500 crores and all, maybe 5-6 years back. When I was in Bangalore, when I was transferred in Shillong, so many of my friends, when I'm going to call Toruk Hange, Matamduda, whatever, I company Maming di Panjaro, I don't like to mention the names, whatever, Bizarref, Mayam Tabi Reko, you need to pay kind of hariba, of the investor we Yabra, Haina, I'm going to call Mayam Tore, I know my request to you, please don't do that. Because these are not coming under what? India gi regulatory body gi makha da lak pa native aduna invest tawgano ina hai adu matam khara lerega kai hibani aduna ngasai gi I am an IS officer, I am a doctor, I am an engineer, doesn't matter well educated or in a financial literate oidragadi so many people I mean aina ground sa pa matam da mayam thengnare ai ju invest togi ai ju paisa mange paisa phang deina there's not a good sign. Adu manasu Manipur whatever 100 crore paiba 1000 crore paiba income tax filing to white money dai later bra in a kale later the young can be quite a soup. Lady let black money the paiba adu white money the I mean we don't know. Right. Yes. See Mayam Kangbi Mr. Warren Buffett, third richest man in the world next to Jeff Bezos, then again Bill Gates Larry, then he is the third person. He's the third richest man in the world. Magi can also Magi net worth is close to around $85 billion ni. Karamaina mana well create tokiva. He started his investment at a very early age. Say kiada, say taramato, 11 years. On a fine world go so journalist among the hange, sir. You are one of the most prominent person in the world of investment. You are a living legend. Is there anything that you feel regret in your life? Magi punsida nangi ningba tungdaba natragana nungaitaba karigumba incident gumba any kind of event like Ibrahim hangi. Yes, amataliti adu amakhakti lay because I was late of 11 years. That science there karino hai matamda early koina nganna karigumba koina paisa invest over nganna koina saving torga invest over horgadi yamna koigi well create over I have the information ni mana piris. Next time yang say tabak toba koi mayam zawri whatever tabak mayam toba tolop saba aduna ngasagi man harise kaino never depend on single income, make investment to create a second source. I tolop hangin adu I depend torgadi koigi kai the mayam koi jarongani doctor oiba oisunu whatever oza oiba oisunu tabak toba. I mean what is the lifestyle of these people? Kano hai matam the live income that comes that at the end of 30 days nimit kuntrani lower matung the lakpani. Then what about running his or maybe her families from that specific income? Income amakhatani laise. aduna ngasagi sigi in terms of wealth creation, in terms of financial planning lakpa matamda, people should be able to create different channels of creating different funnel dagi paisa lang aduni darkar taris. Yes, next time we yengsi mayam whatever mayam tolop saba dagi paisa phang bujarong gani common mayam na tawise kaino. Let's say I am a salaried person, my income comes, I give paisa laaga kaidoba tha magi I give sangadoba whatever expenses angangi emission gi osunu payroll gi osunu seng hawai lai osunu adu loina khaidoga then I save it. This is what everybody does. Common oina khogi Pvt India khatana te Pvt mayam na taunaba process ni sisi adubu people who are genius, who are well versed about this financial industry, how they do ang ting yang simoy na kamain to geba little different. Moina pangib income yam the bakra laido adagi they save it. Doesn't matter, his salary might be, his income might be 10,000, 20,000, doesn't matter, but at least the percentage could be 5%, 10%, 20% according to the affordability of the person. Magi affordable gi matungina ha na ma khaido orga lemo ribaduna that goes for expenses sakraga ngasagi ha na magi 5%, 10%, 20% saving toriga lemi baduna imung manungi whatever expenses ta mulakwa sine ngasagi khenarisi kogi normal da torisina kaino ai income la matung da ha na ai expenses sakhiba sarkaga kaigumba paisa lemagadi ai saving tore lemdragana I start asking to my colleagues to borrow some money. Romen? Yes. Yeah, again what this gentleman what he says, don't save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Hana save to be high. Doesn't matter how much your income. It doesn't matter how much figure that could be. Doesn't matter. Hana save to be high. Aduga lemori duna expenses to lap you high. Then yang se investment se kaino. My principle I give amount invest to go. It has to be safety and safeguard. Number one. Number second, it should give the satisfactory returns. Ado instrument kitang ay sida pangge mayam na common noiba kano hay matamda since 1991 dagi haruga kogi India se kogi whatever kogi fixed income da depend torga lakpa economy ni karam maina tawge aduna hariba sigi product singje hariba sigi product mayam singje mayam tabiram gani saving account, fixed deposit, recurring deposit, PPF, life insurance bonds. Mayam loina tabi rabangatani. Ado magi returns e kiano. Magi returns is sahi mada. It ranges from 4 to 8%. Then again, aigi income se ai karigumba tax bracket se maybe 5%, 20%, karigumba 30% ki bracket taba targati. That should be minus. Again, mayam na khangbi to inflation naina. Kogi matam gi satpagi matungina porki mamanna tangkalak paduga paisa ge belun handarapa adu minus torpa matam dadi ngasai high riba som the piriba sigi piriba ngasigi instruments in the piriba return se they are not able to kogi inflation se overcome to bangam dev adu su paisa pai ba kasu ngam moibo ma'am jabining bro. Okay, all right. Yes, again among jeng se insurance company kunga mari lay. There are 24 companies with Life Insurance Corporation of India. Mayam dagi koina premium mayam khongale. Khongaliba premium to dagi some part of that they used to invest in koigi hariba ngasigi topic stock market so invest however some part of that. A sigi report say this report is koigi Forbes magazine dagi 2018 gi June the publication to gibani aduga sigi report sina till 31st March of 2018 gi 31st March ki report ni motam da ngasai gi LIC na moina invest or say they invest more than 354 companies the moi gi 354 companies moi gi portfolio ne ba sida moi gi top holding ai tare top holding ji koi gi India gi top company ni han bada koi gi Reliance lere Reliance then again TCS LNT ITC higher companies sing da moi invest however ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯟꯁꯨꯔꯦꯟꯁꯇꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯪꯉꯤꯕ ꯔꯤꯇꯔꯟꯅ ꯀꯌꯥꯅꯣ ꯃꯦꯕꯤ ꯔꯦꯟꯖꯤꯡ ꯐ꯭ꯔꯣꯝ ꯂꯦꯠꯁ ꯁꯦ ꯂꯨꯄꯥ 3.5 4.5 ꯇꯒꯤꯅ 6% ꯒꯤ ꯔꯦꯟꯖꯅꯤ but when these people insurance companies singina khoi premium khongalaga moina thadarchina sigi market thadarpa matamda they get return I mean mayam Jio loina paibiramuni sumi ko Jio ayamba Jio ge parent company is Reliance ni in the last 12 months the Reliance na return KP they give 30%. They give 30% in the last 12 months. Again, in the last ICICI Bank the mayam account like kan money. In the last 12 months the ICICI Bank na return KP they give around 40%. Adong asagi khoi ng asagi insurance the what we get out of the investment what we put in insurance the khoi na thammiba premium piriba paisa dun khoi return kaya lakpa we are getting around 6% 5.5%. Then paisa di krai di paironi di khoi ma'am understand to we bro okay sina kitang ai topic se loina mak mix tawraga loina mak tawgodo bani aduna next khoi Sanjiv sir su lebni stock ki manam da man specialize on nganga do ai na overall loina tas tawraga lakado bani so anyway next the kaino jengsi see mayam loina bata tawirangoni bata na piece in the last 12 months they give 73%. Siga report say we took it out to itself in the last 12 months rolling they give 73%. Mayam flight jam tong wirangoni khoi Imphal airport su jam is very rush very crowded peak power su very crowded flight mayam tong wirangoni tongi ko ado they give this Indigo almost around let's say 1.5 months back their return was more than 100%. Lupa sama piramebe in the last 2.5 months 2 months ki mamang da 2.5 months ki mamang da just kitang moi da kitang kano lai budagi khara tarak pani adu still they are giving 40%. Then again Mr. Sunil my group of companies HDFC AMC in the last 12 months they give 148%. I mean yaho budagi what we do yaho budagi koi we use what? We use toothpaste. We use what? Toilet soaps. We use cosmetics. We use shampoo. Then again, we go to office, we go to anywhere, and we fill up our vehicle, petrol, diesels, and all. Akoi Manipur tawrise kaino hai matamda. Akoi se pok podagi. Since we are born, high riba company sing sigi product sing moina puthoreba product moina piriba servicing sing je consume tawrga da laeba khoi pok podagi. Since we are born, we have been consuming and we have been a buyer to these companies. We have been taking their services still. But high river companies say in the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, the moise kayam growth over again. Moise kayam no well create over again. Koi no muda thijalu devo. Ma'am Zabining bro. Our seniors, whatever in the school level, then again whatever college level, the university level, I mean, everyone we use it. Whatever I'm wearing my attire today, however, I celebrate dress say it is manufactured to outside. The money has gone to outside. In Manipur so far, what happened is that Manipur 10,000 people employee people organization late. We don't have manufacturers. Manipur manufacturing unit anything. Good laptop saraga, tablet saraga, mobile saraga, not anything whatever saraga koina export tawraga koina Manipur da Manipur gi GDP da koi kasu help to de kasu. Ma'am Zabining bro. Adu ta gi message AAA gi assured asset advisory message kaino hai matam da we have somewhere around 30 lakhs of population in Manipur. Akoi economy di we are among the fifth bottom the Nikonelais. Below to us there are Bihar. Third rank, last take matam. Aduna, I queen a Thazabadi, I was sigi financial literate, I was sigi financial sigi education, person Haibataragadi. I mean, why not? We can contribute to the GDP of Manipur. Kwagi Manipur income is a cry the line. People who work cry the governments of Manipur state ki, central government ki. Then again, Some of the people, they work in corporates outside. Some of our brothers and sisters, they become NRIs. I mean, how much they earning? Kesu yamanate kesu. Adubu, ngasai na panjaki but 30 lakhs ki population to the, if every one of us, at least one single person from each and every families, karima financial literate oiba targadi, things can be changed in the coming 5, 10, 20 years. So that is the big picture, big dream, what AAA is, putting ahead. Yes. This is the data for mutual fund. Latest October 31st ki data. I'm thinking average asset under management AUM se hojibo the mutual funds 1963 dagi how givani in the almost around 50 to 7-8 years move far hoji adu ladiba sigi asiga lady say AMC 44 companies lay hariba 44 companies da India gi nook and corner across India dagi laiba accumulation of funds kayano 26 lakh 0.32 crores. Crore lakh kunga taruk 32,000 plus average aduga AUM na 26.13 lakh crore. Crore ni ko sise adubu high sigi 26.13 lakh crore AUM sida koi Manipur ki contribution lai se just only crore sambri ga ni print hoi khatane kaya am picky jengo mayam koi Manipur da I mean India gi oina koi state plus union territory is 34 lai sigi marakta koi is one of the least contribution ni sigi feels da overall the 26.13 lakh crore ni mutual fund gidala ise AUM se adubu ngasai gi khori contributions di only 442 crore khatane aduna takpadi koi mayam sigi man da khangbu wali aduna su somgi kero lai kaida lupa kai crore amani de haijaroi lupa crore sama paiba crore sing paiba tholok koi wat khini ba soidana karigino haimatam da yam in the last 40-50 years or even 30 years the sigi knowledge koi later banina will create the opportunities say we have missed out last almost all 40-42 years adamung jeng si atopa koi north east ki kano da kari kamai to ke Maharashtra is the biggest contributor. They contribute almost all 40+%. Then again it comes to Delhi. Then this is the snapshot of koi north east ki contribution. This is I could say I could contribute say 0.0165% kadini koi contributors. Aduna tapadi haibadi sige keno da koi na adi Indiana move to kiba ngasai ai last ki aroiba ai slide azor kani India economy je karamaina sweep to ino haiba uni jengs sida live se yang tang jengs ko sige keno sida magi AUM jeng tang jengs in 2009 da collected oiba AUM se 4.17 trillion rupees ni crore lakh mariga lising taratare sahi manga gi matungda that is 2009 to 2014 sahi manga gi matungda it was jumped to 8.25 lakh crores sahi manga mung leiraga 23.8 lakh crores sigi laiba magi speed se mayam da jengbiu kaino haimatam da ani sa haije ki bodo 1999 gi horgi India economy is fixed income da depend to lakpani adu in the last 3, 4, 5 years 6 years the hariba sigi capital market ki equity market ki mutual fund gi sigi knowledge se penetration gi level se kharama ki hangalakpani na sigi space se hangalain yes I'm thinking si you can check it out koi gi sigi 2016-17 gi horga hoji poge last month poge data ani sida laiba SIP koi systematic investment plan and haibase see 2016-17 the mayam se urangani se uri se around lies roughly around 3,000 crore muktani thama the lies ado next 17-18 da 4,000 crore plus then again 18-19 da 6 to 7,000 crores hoji roughly lies every month kudingi hoji roughly lies SIP systematic investment plan da more than 8,000 crore ni lies koi Manipur gi contribution di ngasai koi no ugri bodo 1963 gi horaga till 2019 gi 31st October about the query contribution say just only 442 crore khatane kayam pick rage jengoduti adura nga sai som gi kerle kaida ani amuksu am panjage 100,000 crore paiva akoi thiba wai seng haibda angteng yengse kanagumba listing amomum dang invest over nga sai SIP da listing ama khatang invest over 25 years taman invest to this say 3 lakhs katani man invest to this aduga koina 15% the hopa matam da it comes around 27.6 lakh kumba accumulate to ngame 25 years da sahi manga amu kadingwa extend to targadi sahi manga haibadi ngasagi 1000 every month per year da 12,000 haibasina 25 years da 3 lakhs invest over matam da 27.6 lakhs adu karigma sahi manga hendokpo targadi that means 3.6 lakhs invest over matam da he can create somewhere around 56.4 lakhs high basic calculation say is somewhat conservative is a 15% we are not talking about 20 30 40% India ki market it gives around 16.5% in the last 42 years since from the started of the Sensex we call Sensex analysis how was 1979 April lagi how ki bani how you both the lies mana period return say plus minus whatever it gives around 16.5% sigi calculation ko kitang handaraga 15% the hopa matam da this is the wealth creation people can create yes impact of early investment sahi ngalinge de koi invest to mana kayam jamna kana ge de ongteng yengse kana guma sahi kun manga suba mana magi sahi humfu subada mana crore manga guma mana create to pam accumulate to pam taragadi magi investment is just only 7,121 rupees only that's I mean somewhere around lupa lising tarike samagi sang khatani sahi mada aka thamada is just only 7,100 ki sang khatani say kun manga suba mana sahi humfu suba matamda crore manga create to ge haiba targadi this calculation is at a rate of not 15% not 14% not 20% just 13% sahi mada tarahumdoi khatani percentage very conservative figures then again 30 years suba mana he has to pay every month kodingi lupa lising tarahumdoi ge plus karigmo sahi kuntra suba mana tobo taragana it comes around 25,000 40 suba mana tobo taragadi 48,000 per month then again 45 years suba mana tobo taragadi 96,000 per month ni the period figure se atai ke sunate kana gumna sahi nganna nauna haubu taragadi som investment som accumulation lakpase yamna pikna khoi invest toraga I mean song na khoi create to honba ya I have to give figure ni I just pinning a message right lupa kuntra je kesu yamanate samagi mamal mayamna khangi duni lupa kuntra kotang invest over I mean tungsun jaraga invest over for coming 30 years the kayam jam gam regions no model lupa kuntra tham de lupa samapan sahi mada lupa lising taraga sanipan ongting jengsi mo 30 years the kamaina magic to gen haiba sigi magic atai kesunate compound akoi gi Albert Einstein hairamba at wonder of the world liner that is called what compound interest this is magic for compound interest ngasa aina to hibuduga relate torpani younger age ta knowing the kai invest over hobu taragadi people can create it doesn't matter I mean your nangi figure invest or figure do adu kaya no thoina kesu count or oibo yes ongting jengsi si let's see here total investment is only in a 30 years that is per day lupa kuntra sa glass amagi mamal khatani tham de lupa samapan sahim de lupa lising amaga sanipan aduga 30 years ta magi investable amount sina lupa lakh homga lising kun ga mari khatani ado khoina 15% the hopa matam da the person can create 50.5 lakhs it's a good amount 15% hopa matam da ado karigumba kitang haiba haidi sigi capital market financial market ta kitang khangba taragadi if the person is I mean good enough to create at least let's say around 20% it comes how much is that the figure shows everything 1.4 crores. Atai kasunati no modalupa kuntra. Per day 30,000. Per month 900. Per year just only 10,800 only. Sina pili se kaino, it doesn't matter. Koigi Karigumba invest to matam the saving to matam the right platform, the right vehicle, the Karigumba can invest over targadi, we can take this advantage. Yes, amtang is the Panjarange, Sanjiv Sar Hoigumba. I mean, this is very, able to do that. What is that? Per month, just only 2.5% per month. Little export over Kangugi. Aduga, my annual returns is per month 2.5 lakh aduga per year 30% gumba create over number targadi. Kayam Zamna well create over numbagi miyamagi life. In someone's life, how much can be created? Let's see. "10 years will become, in 5 years, that will become 37 lakhs. After 10 years, 1.38 crore. What is the invested amount for? 10 lakhs. What is the return? 2.5% per month, 30% per year. After 15 years, 5.11 crore. After 20 years, 19 crore. After 25 years, there is 70.5 crores. In someone's life, somebody who starts, let's say, 25 years, people can create 20 crore, 50 crore, 70 crore. Again, let's say somebody who is younger, 30 years, let's see here, in someone's life, this amount, this figure can be created if the person is taking very seriously at a very, very early age. With what? With the right kind of knowledge. This is the figure. 262 crores. Figure this is so we want to see and this calculation is 2.5% per month. I know financial literacy fazan high specialized or adu targati 2.5 is really, I mean, is quite high but the tone hen and Louis. Tawudi, Adubu, Karimung Nambutaragadi, someone's life, 260 Yodragasu can create 100, can create at least 50 crores. 50 crores at the age of 60 is a good money. Mem Zabining, bro? Okay, all right. Yes. Masigi say Narangi closing ni, Narangi closing the top 11 companies that are quite solve in terms of market capitalization. I think Yansi Reliance. Reliance, it is the largest right now, 9.31 lakh crore. Reliance, magi IPO se 1977 when they did IPO, magi market capitalization kya just only 10,000 crore only. 10,000 crore ki value do ngasidi it is 9.31 lakh crores. When I was listening, Mukesh somebody was talking in 2017 their AGM, annual general meeting what he told on that day, there was 2007, 2 years back. In the last 40 years, who has been invested to Reliance, they get their return 100% of return every 2.5 years. Say ani mangkai kudingi Reliance the investor was in the last 40 years the double Oinam. That is correct because I have been following quite long time Reliance. Sir, I mean you have lots of knowledge about this also. I mean Reliance gives 2.5 times every 100% return every 2.5 times in the last 42 years. Again, in the last 1 year the Reliance na pisa kya and say 30%. Reliance gives exactly 30% in the last 12 months. The moin how him na kaya 42 years back the market capitalization say just only 10,000 crore. Ngasidi ngarang 15 November 19 the kaya oiba 9.31 lakh crores. This kind of wealth are created. Yes, next time we say TCS moy IPO 2004 the to gibani matam the moin IPO to matam the their moy can say market capitalization just only 40,000 crores. But yesterday, when market closed, it is 8.16 lakh crore. See the multiplication, see the returns. Who has been investing? The Gujarati people, the Maharashtrian people, the people who are in Delhi, they're getting these benefits. They're getting these advantages. Then again, one of the best bank in Asia, my previous employer, HDFC Bank, Moina IPO Tomatam, it was in 1995. 1995, the Moi IPO Tomani. Matam their market capitalization just only 50,000, not only 50 crore only. Just only 50 crore. Ngarangi closing the VGNC, almost all 7 lakh crores. 50 crore dagi 7 lakh crore. In a span of how many years? In a span of 24 years. This kind of very filthy well created, people are getting it. And again, last one I just want to mention here, Bajaj Finance. Bajaj Finance ngarangi closing the share mada mage mamal se lupa lising mariga samaga 87, 4,187. When we go back 10 years, today I'm standing in front of everyone. November 26. 10 years back, 2009, February, March adwaida, haiba sigi Bajaj Finance was lupa manga makhaida trading toromeo. Share amana. One share was around 5 rupees 10 years back. 10 years back, just only 5 rupees. After 10 years, it became how much year? The figure shows everything. That means our message is very clear. AAA side then again sir IIFL side then again HDFC MC side I mean Manipur the last 40 years, last 42 years we have missed out these golden opportunities. Yes. I'd like to mention this and this is short part. I'll just wind up. There are lots of information I want to share, but I'll just, yes. India ki economic size around $2.72 trillion ni. $2.72 trillion latest updation from World Bank tagi. Ado, ang ting yang state da, han bagi first trillion dollars se create it took almost all 58 years. 58 years. Second trillion dollar, it took just only 5 years. Then again, now we are at how much? $2.72 trillion. In the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, whatever has been created in the last 68, 70 years, the same will be created in the coming 10 years. That means, according to the last 40, 42 years, miss out Tauragasu. 10 years is very exciting. Every one of us, every Indians, every citizen of India is one of the most fortunate citizen in the world. Why? The thing is that the coming 10 years is going to be very exciting. India is going to play very big role in the world economy. Sige advantage se mayam Oinam lomina se whatever zoom the Labi Hoba, Isili now, Imung Manung, Sagay Natay, Marumapang. I mean, please pass the message because the 10 years is going to be very exciting. Let us take that advantage. If we miss out last 40 years or so, 40 years miss out Tauragasu, coming 10 years, say, let us make it from Manipur. Let us contribute something from Manipur economy to contribute to if I invest in Reliance. I don't know about the technology of oil and energies. I don't know the technology of Geo, but if I invest in Reliance, I also become an owner, a part of ownership of Reliance. I might not be having the skill set of running that kind of company, but if I invest and I can invest over Taragadi, I honor Oiravanina, I mean, people are working for that. My money is working for 24 hours. Why we should miss out such kind of golden opportunities? Ma'am Zavining, bro? Okay, great. Yes, segi snap data kerang ai share tarunge. We have more than 605 million people below 25 years, 10 to 19 years. We have more than 225 million people. And in the next 40 years, Indian workforce will be very, very youthful, dynamic, productive, and workforce. And we will be, at the same time, China will be declining. By 2020, the workforce, the average age of Indian workforce will be 29 years. At the same time, it is 40 years in USA, 46 years in Europe, 47 years in Japan. Then again, in 20 years, the industrialized world, European countries, US, moina 4% decline to China 5% decline to matamda, India will increase by 32%. These data are coming from where? ILO, International Labour Organization. Yeah, that means I know the high gibo next 10 years is going to be very, very big. How gibo say nifuda will create to gibo more than that we can create in the next 10 years. Again, little sina kainoni GDP ka market cap ka ani ratio ni India ki let's say around 77% ni hujik let's say US ki jemo targadi almost around 149% ni kai mo Hong Kong ki jemo targadi 1054%. Ado khoi India ki haidi it is having lots of potential to do. Simtang usaram ke 1979 की कोई इंडिया की मार्केट से जर्नी से कमाई तौर के न it is nothing but कोई इंडिया की सेंसेक्स से 10 साम मद की होगी बने 100 points तक की होगी बदो होजिक कया और एक अंतिम जेंग सी को मैं 1979, but in this journey, in the last 40 years, 42 years, so many things has been happened. 84, the Indira Gandhi assassinate Tokiba, 91, the Rajiv Gandhi, then again Ketan Parekh, Harshad Mehta, then again 1999, 2000, 2001, Y2K, dot-com bust, then 2008, one of the biggest of the 4 pillars of investment bank, Lehman Brothers, they became dust. Uful on kiva. Then again, 2012-13, Euro zone the deaf key problem like Greece, Portugal, Spain. Then again, recently demonetization, 2 surgical strikes. These are all giving hits to the market. Even though what happened 100 rupees, what happened 100 points in 2009 till now. Let's see. Oh, sorry. This is started from 100. I'll start from the beginning, just better. Your 100 rupees, how it comes in the last 40 years. Let's see. This is 100 rupees, 1979 100 rupees to ne. See, the problem I am talking to your 100 rupees 1979 invested in Sensex. 100 rupees become 3,300 plus now. It crossed 5,000 again, came down to 3,600. This is the bull market, big bull market. Your 100 rupees become more than 9,000 now. Your 100 rupees become more than 10,700. 11,000, 12,000, 13,000 100 rupees. That 1979 16, 17,000, 19,000. It came down 2008. 16,000. Adudagi kya adorkwa 10,000, 9,400. Again, let's see here how it comes. 19 to 20,000 100 rupees become 20,000 now. This is your 100 rupees 1979s. 24,000, 27,957. 2016, 34,000 2017. So this is the journey of what? Indian stock market so far. This is not the end. This is what 2 years back. 2 years back to 34,000 ngarang closing the kaya nong tang jiangsi. Yes, Hojibok the Lupasama to 1979 invest over it become how much? 34,000. Miami Yam the bro. Let's see again. Again 2 years back. 2 years later. Ngarangi closing 40,356 rupees. Your 100 rupees 42 years back. So 100 rupees though, it become how much? 40,356. How much times? Lupa Mado, it becomes 1 rupee becomes how much? 403 times. But people might be telling that stock market is something here and there. Gambling, game plan, all those things. Okay, you know, no knowledge. Knowledge like the beginning. No way. Lupasama value though 42 years it gives how much? 403 times. So with this note, I just want to and thank you so much from my end, and let us what? Learn and grow together. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oinam Patel, President and CEO of AAA Pvt Limited. A smooth investment journey is crucial to achieve the desired goals on time. And I would like to say that it is so befitting to say that, or to conclude that, Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited is a pioneer in creating financial literacy in Manipur and for all the people here to begin the journey of investment. He quoted Warren Buffett and highlighted various verses of savings and investments, including facts and data to prove his firm points, and with an aim to empower investors and let them take their own investment decisions on time. Mr. Oinam Patel has provided us vast knowledge about financial literacy with his eye-opening speech. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to welcome Mr. Vikash Jain, Associate Director, IIFL Securities Limited, to kindly give his speech. Let's welcome him with the biggest round of applause.
Good evening, friends. It's an immense pleasure for me to be here and address such a wonderful crowd. Thanks to Mr. Patel for inviting. Talk much about investments because we have expertise from our company, Mr. Sanjiv Bashin, who would take you through on that side of the business. And I'll just brief you a little bit about our company. IIFL Securities, as Mr. Patel was pointing out on various companies, their journey of growth. Our company also started off in maybe 95, 96 with two entrepreneurs, Mr. Nirmal Jain, Mr. R. Venkatraman, who started off with a research firm and which was named Probity Research in 1995-96, and from then on they started thinking on how to expand their businesses and how to create more of awareness in broking, because it was creating a lot of new opportunities, creating opportunities in investment. Then in 2000 he started off with a 5 paisa site. We were the first company to give an online platform for trading. From then on, we never looked back. In 2006 to 8, we moved on into wealth creation, wealth management, where we hired professionals from CLSA. A team of CLSA had joined us, and today we boast about having the biggest wealth management in the country with more than 1.7 lakh crore of AUM under management in our wealth. And apart from that, we have always been pioneer in and investing in technology. So we have always come up with new things, new ways of putting in investments. And we believe that the markets of Northeast have immense potential. Mr. Patel is doing the right thing by putting in a lot of effort on education, because financial literacy is a key for our investments. Today, if I talk about a situation in Northeast, if I meet people across, they generally talk about putting in money in savings account. Normally, if I talk about investments, most of the people around in Northeast, they think putting money in FDs is the investment that they are doing. But frankly speaking, that's savings, not the investment. And we are trying to, build up that education or literacy on financial side. And we feel that there is immense opportunity around. As Mr. Patel was pointing out regularly, that we have lost 42 years of investment. But definitely that is there. We have lost some time, but it's not over, like, because the growth story for India is immense and we have immense opportunities going forward. Today we are talking about a Sensex at 40,000. Maybe in 3 years, 5 years, we may see the index somewhere around 1 lakh. So we are poised for that growth. So there is always an opportunity. Nothing is lost. We should start from today, and we should start our investments in equities. If we don't have a direct knowledge on equities, we should try to educate ourselves, and we should start our investments through mutual funds. SIP is the best way to invest to start off with, and going forward, as you start learning, you can get into direct investments as well. So basically, we will provide you all kind of platforms. We would also continuously try to organize these kind of events in various parts, and I look forward to expanding further in Northeast through Mr. Patel, as we were sharing our views recently, just today when we were sitting together. So he has a view of expanding his branches in various parts of Manipur initially, and that is how we want to expand across, and we would help out in all ways on education side, on literacy side, so that we can create a better market for Manipur. Today we are at 400 crores. We look forward to doing it 4,000 by maybe a year or so, if everything goes right. People think in the right direction, start putting in their investments in the right opportunities. Frankly speaking, we have to get out of putting in a lot of money in FDs. We believe that the money put in banks are safe. But if I have to speak out on the safety side of FDs, that is also secure to the extent of 1 lakh of rupees. The amount that you put in FDs is secure to the level of 1 lakh. Anything beyond that, if a bank goes bust, is also not safe. So basically, it's all in the mind. We have to try to explore, put in our investments in different baskets, not only in equities. We have a lot of other opportunities. We should have our money in various asset classes so that diversification happens in the right way. And that is how AAA would help you in achieving your goals and setting up your investment plans in the right direction. Now I'll hand over my the further speech on equities. I would ask Mr. Bashin to take over, and he should continue on investment side on equities. So over to you, Mr. Bashin. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vikash Jain, Associate Director, IIFL Securities Limited. He began his remarkable speech by highlighting the journey of IIFL Securities Limited, the leading finance and investment services company in India, and emphasized the need to educate ourselves in the investment world significantly. The organizers of Assure Asset Advisory Private Limited are also extremely grateful to IIFL for their assured assistance and unending support to set up investment plans in Manipur. Thank you, and I would like to welcome a person needless of introduction, Mr. Sanjiv Bashin on stage. Let's welcome him with the biggest round of applause.
Yeah, good evening to all of you, and thank you for the warm welcome. And firstly, Mr. Patel has given an excellent presentation on what numbers are. Numbers never lie. So what he's told you, the 42 years, the extent of investment growth, all that is proof of the pudding. But if I see here, I see an extremely, middle-aged to young population over here, which tells me that you people have a long future. And long future only comes if you are invested. A lot of you may be seeing me on TV and other analysts, and we change our views every day and every hours. I'm not one of those, but the markets can be fickle-minded. Fickle, aap samajhte hain, where you are undecided. But money can never be fickle. So money sleeps, money must grow overnight. And for that, it has to find the right investment direction. Now, coming to the markets, if you recall my last visit, we were extremely positive and we had expected that the elections and so on. Now, after that, there has been a global, complete drop-off of growth. Today, in today's day, even India has been at the lower end of all our growth expectations. The GDP has come at 5%, which in our terms is extremely weak. But in a global context, still you are doing extremely well, where $18 trillion is hiding in non-yielding assets. And globally, there is missing growth. But this is all round the corner. Markets always price in the future. They don't look backwards, they look forward. If you recall, some of you may have seen me in the last 3 months, I must have been the only person who was bullish on the market and was advising people to buy close to 10.7 and below 11,000. Well, I was proved right on one side, A, B. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. After the 2017 bull run, in which mid-caps did huge outperformance, we have not seen anything happen like that on mid-caps. So the broader market underperformance is extremely painful. And even though the index is close to 12,000 or 12,000, you people or your portfolios may not have done well. So that tells you that if you are not invested, then this is a good time to start off, because there is no such adage of trying to time the market. How many of you have heard this, that sell at this level, buy at this level? That is an adage for the trader. For the investor or for the person who wants to create wealth, there is only one word. It is not timing the market, it is time spent in the market. How many years are you going to hold on to stocks? How many years are you going to invest? So I'll start this program by asking you a common thing. Tell me 3 things which you can invest for 25 to 30 years. Tell me 3 things which you own for 25 to 30 years. Not stocks. Tell me aside from that. One is your house. You have no choice. That's your roof. You cannot sell that. 2 is gold. Gold is all thanks to the lady. The lady in your house is Lakshmi, and she has held that as an emotion. If it was in your hand, gold would have gone out at 3, 4, 5,000 many years back. It is only the ladies of your house who are actually a goddess, who have preserved that, because it's in our upbringing, in our Sanskriti, in our emotion, that gold is an asset which grows. Now, let me also tell you, gold has no other use except for decorating the ladies. It has no industrial use, nothing except it's a good hedge against inflation. What is the third thing which you have invested for 30 years, or 25 years? Huh? Land, we've said, we know that is your. The third thing you invested is again emotional, your children. So you, maybe some of you, maybe your parents, when you were born, your upbringing, your schooling, today's schooling is now different from 30 years back. Today's schooling is a big business. You pay for the teacher, you pay for the tuition, you pay for the upbringing, the parties, the mechanism of the, social media, then some children going for music, some going for swimming. All that means there is nothing left in the pocket. And yet you do it without any negative. You are very happy. If your child doesn't do well, you will get him more tuition, you will give him more milk, you will give him more badam. Said 1 year, next year he'll do better, because you are judiciously putting your money. And after 25 years, when he gets married, settles down, does well in his life, it's just emotional that you're getting. You're not asking him back. So that is the case with stocks. Do you have that love for stocks? In 25 days, you hate the stock and the company. So you have no patience on the stocks. If you thought of stocks also like children who can grow for 30 years, only then you can make money and wealth, which is what Mr. Patel told. So Oinam started off and he ended on Warren Buffett. Let me give you a small, playback with Warren Buffett. I was in Hong Kong for 5 years with Deutsche Bank, and when I came back in 2009, in 2010-11, I joined NDTV as a consultant. I used to come on TV 2 times a day. And I had the privilege of meeting Mr. Warren Buffett when he came in 2012. So when he did an interview, I was one of them. He asked me, he said, Sanjiv, I have invested in Merrill Lynch's bonds, and I am making, every 30 seconds I make $10. Every 30 seconds. That's the debt money which he was making. And then he asked me, tell me, how many years do you think I've invested in Coca-Cola? You've heard of Coca-Cola? आप बताइए, how many years do you think Warren Buffett has invested in Coca-Cola? Take a guess. 44 years. How many years? That means the man doesn't live for his own generation, he lives for the next. Can you invest for 44 years? Impossible. So we all have examples and we all have, inspiration. But and it doesn't mean Coca-Cola went like this, like a rocket. There were a lot of cyclical ups and downs. But he valued a business. That means he understood what the crux of the business was. And in an economy and in a world with population expanding, incomes rising, Coca-Cola will always tend to make money. Okay? Even though today you say ban Coca-Cola and the others, it's still a necessary evil. You can't do without it. So remember, stocks or money or businesses will have cycles of ups and downs. But if you are confident and you remember, you remain invested in the business, you can make money. In fact, I must tell you all that don't look at balance sheets and XYZ. Go by your advisory. What Oinam said is 100%. Financial literacy. Being knowledgeable is necessary. But being knowledgeable doesn't mean you will be wealthy. The wealth of knowledge is can never be, it can never be calculated or ascertained. Knowledge is humongous. You can even grow today, even at 57 years of age. I work at 6:30 every day. I gather knowledge, I write, I have to do a lot of hard work. Because I am in love with knowledge. I must keep growing. And if I keep learning, I'll keep getting younger. So the only way is to grow. And if you are good, then by the grace of God, your karma will also get wealth. So wealth will also come hand in hand. I'll give you a small example of when I started. In 1988, a very well-known uncle of mine, he used to fabricate the longs of Tata Steel. Tata Steel had two products. In steel, there is short and there is long products. And Tata Steel was the largest steel player in 1988, and he used to know every month production numbers of Tata Steel, meaning he was because he used to do the engineering work. That time internet was not so popular and so on. So there was a new issue which listed, and he told me, Sanjiv, buy this stock and forget about it, keep it. So I bought, there was a company called Tata Honeywell. It was about 51 rupees. I bought 1,000 shares in 88. In 88, 51,000 was still not that substantial, but it was 51,000 rupees. And it was a joint venture between Honeywell and Tata. Tata's were 51, Honeywell was 49. And subsequently, 1988, after 2 years, I got a right at 35 rupees. 5:3 at 35. So I got 650 shares more, and I held 1650 shares at around 45 rupees was my cost. Subsequently, time changed. 1999, 97, 98, the stock price went up, and I had to buy a property. So I got the stock. I sold the stock, 75% of it at 750 rupees, and I bought that property. Now today that property is gone up, and I have about 325 shares of Tata Honeywell. But guess what the price is? The price is 29,000. It hit a high of 36,000. Now the property is also moved up, but if similarly you are just held on to that, you can imagine where the price is. And I can tell you, today it's not known as Tata Honeywell, it is Honeywell Incorporated. Honeywell Incorporated is a Dow component. It is every digitalization you have, everything in your life, anywhere where you see digitalization, Honeywell is there. It is a Dow component, and at today's market cap, I can tell you in next 5 years it will double from here also. Because as your economy grows, you will start to see engineering and allied products of air conditioner, all your electrical appliance things will, and digitalization includes Honeywell in a big way. So it tells you that at grassroots level there are enough opportunities to make money in hindsight. But what about the future? The future, like Oinam pointed out, has a huge upside, that it took us 58 years to get to the first trillion. But in subsequently 7 years, we've started to, our market caps have gone up. But nowhere near where we should be. If you are talking of our market cap, it is $2.72 trillion, correct? In the US, this year, 3 companies hit $1 trillion, meaning 3 companies are $3 trillion, which is more than your entire market cap. And those 3 companies are well known. It's Apple, Amazon and Microsoft. Now, also it brings me to the wonderful point which Oinam made, that Reliance has made money 2.5 times in every 2.5 years. But did you know for the last 8 years, 6 years, Reliance did nothing. It gave 0 to negative return. 6 years, meaning it tested your patience. In the last 2.5 years, Reliance is up almost 3 times, 2.5 times. In the last 2.5 years, Reliance has moved up 2.5 times. But for 6 years, it did nothing. For 8 years, Microsoft did nothing. It was 0 to flat. And in last 2.5 years, Microsoft is up 3.5 times. So when I will time the business is not my problem and not my concern. If I buy a good business, it's like saying my son has not done well this year. Should I stop his education? You will play more, you will give him more empathy, you will give more on tuitions, you will start. So it means you will buffer up your stock. You don't close down. It is just, so that's what emotions are. If you are emotional about stocks, then only you should actually think you should make money. Or aapko aur bataun, it is a myth that you will be able to time balance sheets. You can make money by buying stocks which you can see. What can you see? You can see the shoes which you wear, which was Bata, which is 170% up. You can see the airline which you fly. Every day you fly Indigo, correct? Or you see the bus which carries you, the blue bus which carries you from the terminus to the plane and back. It's all Ashok Leyland. So these cannot change. These models are there from years and you are going to use them every day. So these businesses are here to stay. I'll tell you, when I joined the stock market again 1988, the Delhi Stock Exchange used to have an outcry, meaning 2.5 hours you had to shout. I came from a very pedigree college, Shri Ram College of Commerce. I did my MBA, and to go and shout in the hall was very difficult initially. But I got to learn, because there it meant if you were good in your business, you had to make money from buying and selling. So one uncle of mine, I asked him what stock to buy. He was not very educated, but he was very market savvy. So he could not speak English. He could speak Hindi or Punjabi. I don't think anybody here knows Punjabi, but I asked him, what stock should I buy? So he said, buy the stock of ponds. In Punjabi, he said, 16 saal di jawan or 80 saal di buzurg roz swere sham laegi. Meaning, if she's a 16-year-old or an 80-year-old, every morning, evening, she will put ponds. That ponds share was 50 rupees that time. Even today, ponds is very much in fashion. But ponds got merged with lever, and lever, today it's a part of lever, and that stock's price is more than 60,000. Meaning 50 rupees has become 60,000, and ponds is still used by all ladies and gents included, because brands are not comparable. Secondly, personal consumption. The shampoo which a lady uses, she will not change it for a 10 rupee price hike or a 20 rupee price hike. Similarly, the India King's cigarette which you smoke, you are not going to give it up if it goes up by 10 rupees. So personal consumption is an inelastic mechanism, and you can see it and make money. Only thing you lack little bit is where your knowledge would go into analyzing the price or the multiples, for which literacy is the only way going forward. But believe me, some people have made billions just by analyzing common human behavior and common products. The water, Tata Global today is a consumption stock. But how many people knew that Tata Tetley and the entire range of Himalayan water is again Tata Tea, or the erstwhile Tata Tea, which is Tata Global. Or Government of India sold its entire stake in Maruti in 2004 at 175. And at that time, every household's aspiration was to own a Maruti, correct? I'm talking of 15 years back. Everyone wanted to own. So the market cap of Maruti was a no-brainer. The Japanese had invested in India, and they realized that here they are going to give you a car which is unbeatable. Today, the market cap of Maruti hit a high of 10,000 from 175 in 15 years. The market cap went to 2.5 lakh crore. The most expensive auto stock globally. Of course, it's corrected a lot from there, which is to do with the slowdown. But it still is a very good aspirational brand. You must remember, when aspirations rise, then cars become an aspirational habit. You are not looking at, you will bargain for your desire car, or in that band of 7-8 lakh. But the day you move on to a BMW, then you are not going to look at 42 lakh to 44 lakh. You just want to buy it. So aspiration and elasticity of price are go hand in hand. As incomes rise, there is a different tendency into why you want to own assets. Similar is the case with real estate or land. You all want a house, but you have to realize when growth comes, everyone wants to aspire to home. HDFC, the largest asset management company mutual fund, was first only a mortgage company. When it was a mortgage company, it was available at a market cap of less than 5,000 crore. Today it is going to be one of the next $100 billion companies in the next 5 years. So why not invest in HDFC? Because it is the largest mortgage lender. And for India, the theme is simple. 130 crore people. Where are our houses? How many own houses? And the aspiration is that in my lifetime, I must own a house. So housing is a no-brainer. Plus the new government scheme by Modi ji, housing for all, Ek Ghar, Ek Vikas, and so on, are huge impetus for you to invest. And mortgage companies will always gain because you have to take a loan. You cannot grow, you cannot make what you have inherited from your parents. They have spent their whole generation to make one house for you. It takes a lot of effort and money to make houses and so on. So if you look around, you will realize that if you have to see building coming back, then cement, steel, copper, all these are needed. If cars are going to see an uplift, you need rubber, you need tires, you need original equipment manufacturers, all these will start to do well. So the visibility is there, it's how fast and how well you can utilize that to your extent. On the other hand, like Oinam pointed out, the biggest backbone of the Indian stock market in the last 3 years has been you, or the SIP. The SIP is the best instrument which lets you invest even 1,000 rupees. Today 1,000 rupees is how much she will spend if she goes and sees a movie with another friend. And if that 1,000 goes into a SIP every month, imagine the cascading effect it will have after 10, 12, 15 years. So please put in money, your spare money, into equity as an asset class. There are 4 asset classes. Tell me, what 4 asset classes are there? First is real estate. Second is fixed income, which you get as in your fixed income in your debt or your fixed deposit. Third is gold or silver as in precious metals. And fourth is equity. Real estate is in a very, very flat stage. People don't have enough money to buy and prices are stagnant. Gold and silver are now being avoided by houses to buy. You have it, you own it, but you keep it. In fact, India has, I think, trillions of dollars worth of gold, which someday will become productive when they encash that. But right now it's an asset which you own emotionally. Third is fixed income, where yields are falling. And if you have bad yields and more yields, then you are at riskier assets like DHFL or where the cost of deposit may be high, but the risk is defined. Lower risk yields are giving you less than, the yield on the 10-year paper is 5.25 and set to go lower because globally yields are falling. In the US, the yields hit a low of 1.5. In fact, $18 trillion in negative yield means that if you put your money in a German bank, you also have to pay him money to keep my money. Can you believe it? You are getting nothing. In fact, you are giving him money to keep my money safe. That's the type of fear, psychosis which is there because of growth. So yields are lower, so there is only one asset class in which you can even put 1,000 rupees a month and still create ownership. Like he pointed, ownership is a necessary ingredient. If I own a stock or a company, then I will grow with it over a period of time. Whether it's Maruti or a Hindustan Lever, where again Sunsilk shampoo and Dove the soap, all these are personal products. There is no parallel for that when growth comes back. Then you have the other range of, so the SIP has been the backbone of the Indian market. Despite FI sellings and huge global overseas problems and the rupee weakness, the domestic flows are very, very strong. And like he pointed out, it's abysmal that Manipur is just 442 crore. I can tell you in the next 3 years, you may be at least 4 times that size. 4 times that size. And I can say it with confidence because you are all aware, but you have not had the necessary, breakthrough of understanding what it is, which is why we are here. And please don't get fearful when you watch TV and understand market, because they, including me, they speak for the moment. You must learn to buy fear, which is what I said 12 weeks back. Buy the fear. In fact, when I was writing for this bull run, nobody was expecting it. Everyone said we are nowhere going to reach 12,000. Aap dekhiye jaake on the channels. And lo and behold, we've come to 12,000 and we are looking very good. So I am not on the bearish camp, I am on the positive camp. The markets are forward looking, they price in the worst, they look ahead. The next year could be actually the best for equity markets because of 2-3 things which the government has done. A, the corporate rate cut tax is the biggest reform since independence. It means your tax rates on corporates are now at par with any country in Southeast Asia. So India becomes a very good destination to invest. A. B, corporates are going to revitalize that 1.5 lakh crore to grow in capacities and expand. And C, you've also given a manufacturing base at 15%, which is the lowest in anywhere in Asia. Fourthly, you've set the cat amongst the pigeons that strategic disinvestment of PSUs is on the card. BPCL, Concor and Shipping Corporation have already been announced. And the day this gets done, it will see foreign capital re-rate the entire PSUs. You are aware that Manipur and most of the Northeast have very, very strong PSUs, which are the backbone. Now, they have a lot of social obligations which they do. Hence, priority of there is not profit. But the government has understood that they have no business to be in business. Meaning, you are not meant to run businesses the way you are with philanthropy on one hand and no income. So, businesses are meant to be run with, so they are going to be just 25 to 26% ownership. The rest will go to private or overseas people to generate money. And when the profitability rises, because the businesses are extremely good, it is just that they had to have a change of mindset. That is what is going to propel the next bull run in India. In fact, PSU stocks and banks and others will be huge outperformers if you can keep the cool and buy some of them at very, very big discounts. I recall about 6 months back when I was here, BPCL was 320. Today BPCL has been the star. Can you tell me any business which runs 365 days, 24/7? It is the OMCs. But always there was no prerogative because it was state run. You cannot set up a network like IOC, BPCL and HPCL. Now if two of them are divested, you can imagine what the market cap and the valuation goes. Because then the person who is buying it will have skin in the game. He will want the business to prosper, and in a business which is got huge, there is no competitor over there. So let's start this presentation. We'll try and enrich you more with this and move on. This is what global market returns are. And where are we? In fact, if these 2 months had not been there, we would have been negative. So these 2 months have been a huge game changer. By the way, the money which we have made in these 2 months has not been made in 2 years. So the markets always give you a timeline from bearish to bullish. Or, dusri baat I'll tell you, you'll hear a lot of analysts will come and tell you 10,007 was a selling price, 11,700 is a buying price. Only the people who went through the pain will see the gains. If you saw the pains of the last 6 months, then only you participate in the gain. What does that mean? That if only you own stock, if you owned, say, Reliance at which is today 1480, then you saw a low of 1100 also, which meant that if you owned Reliance at 1250, you saw a bottom of 1100, then you went to see an upside. You cannot just suddenly start to come as TV people say that today I am bullish, today I am bearish. For the trader, there is a thin line between trading and investing. The trader never becomes an investor and the investor never becomes a trader. If you trade, you just trade the price. If it's weak, you will sell. If it's strong, you will buy. The investor is putting his hard-earned money in a business where he wants his capital to grow over a period of time. That is the beauty of investment. So India has done nothing actually in a global environment. At a time when bond yields are hitting new lows, the bond yield in the US, because the Fed has been cutting rates, have hit a low. After hitting Donald Trump's, when he came, it hit a high of 3.2, they were down to 1.5. But the caveat, 1.5 in the last 1 month has hit 1.94 on the upside, which means risk is back. The Dow yesterday closed at 28,004, the first time in history. So on one hand you have people talking of recession, and on the other hand you have Donald Trump, who tweets every day, Dow at new highs. Hate him or love him. I mean, I am a lover of him because he makes money, but the man is humongous. So if you want to make money, you have to decide which side of the coin you want to be. The bearish camp, which is always going to be critical, or the bullish camp, which makes money actually. And you will have to decide which side Donald Trump wakes up. Because the day he is up on the right side, he is pro-China. The day he wakes up from the left side, he is anti-China, which adds to the market volatility. But the volatility is your friend if you follow the trend. So you have to be invested, only then will you bear the pain and then see the gains. There are no free lunches, my friends. Remember that. What you invest may take many, many years to start to grow. But when it grows, it will mushroom into huge outperformance. Just like children, or you have been in your careers or in your path. Your parents invested, and there may have been lot of years where there was underperformance because of behavioral patterns or education or what. But the investment never stopped. They kept investing in you. Hence is the case with companies. Companies cannot from a high base suddenly become doublers. They take time to grow. But if the businesses are right, the promoters are genuine, read the lips, the promoters are genuine, then you have nothing to lose. The Indian yields are also falling, which also goes away with the myth that 8.5%, 9% I used to get just on fixed income. That is called widow's income. Without working, all I do is play golf and get 8.5%, 9% yield. Those days are gone. You will not even get 5.5% net of taxation yields, which will not fight inflation and which will not give you wealth. So I am not saying fixed income should not be a portion, but fixed income is no longer going to be those heady returns. At a time when global growth is not there, you are getting even 1.5%, 2% overseas, 5.5%, 6% is still humongous. So in Indian context, in the next 2-3 years, cost of money is going to fall, which will mean very good news for the borrowers or for the lending and the credit cycle to expand, which is just around the corner. Now, in all this talk, the Nifty, after giving 30% in 2017, has come down to 9%. But look at the mid cap. After 50% in 2017, it's -14 and -8. So that's the real pain point. You are saying, sir, the Nifty is 30 stocks, but what about the stocks I own? That is the pain. And believe me, that is a huge, obstacle, because that stops you from investing. You saying already we are sitting on losses, what do we do? Now, for that, there are only 3 correct ways. One, put it in a mutual fund or a SIP, where the fund manager works 24/7, 365 days. He is doing this as a business, that's his profession. A. B, be in a diversified portfolio rather than individuals. Meaning, if you own banks, it is better to buy the bank Nifty. The bank Nifty has 6 private, 6 public banks. Even if 2 don't do well, the rest 10 will make up. If you just buy the index, you've all heard of the Nifty? The Nifty has 23 sectors. 23 sectors, which include auto, OEM, banks, private, public, healthcare, IT, fertilizer, you name it, 23 sectors and 63% of market cap. So even if 5 sectors didn't do well, the rest make up. Hence the Nifty is the best barometer. Plus, you are all passive investors. You are not tracking it on a day-to-day basis. A. B, you are doing it with your spare capacity. And C, you are all professionals in your line. So even if you did 10-12% CAGR over a period of time, it works. You are not a Warren Buffett or a Jhunjhunwala who is going to dedicate his whole life, but he also goes through a lot of life cycle pains. It's not easy to sit 40 years on and then wait for returns. Only the people who have the right temperament can do that. For you, 11-12% is going to be an asset class which will grow better than any other asset. Hence, SIPs and mutual funds are here to stay. Never have we seen the type of money which has come in mutual funds, which the data Mr. Patel gave. And that tells you that that's just the tip of the iceberg. This is not going to reverse. This is not a 3-month or a 3-year phenomena. This is here for the next 30 years. Because all of you own gold, all of you own real estate, and all of you own fixed income. How many of you own stocks? Raise your hands. कितनों के पास म्यूचुअल फंड और स्टॉक्स हैं? Absimal. Please go and open Demat accounts in all your family names. This is a disservice you are doing. Please listen to me. In fact, I have spent 30 years in the market, and by the grace of God, I became financially independent at 48. I don't have to work. I do it for my passion. And all because I was invested. I didn't know when I invested that this will be the return. It is all back-ended. But you are doing an injustice to your next generation and your present generation by not being invested. Please go and open Demat account. I am not saying it with a business view, I am taking it with a one-to-one view. All of you must have Demat accounts, and if you are in the age group below 30, 100% should be in equity. Okay? 100%, because your risk-taking capacity is highest. Only after the age of 45 you should be 50-50 in equity and debt or in other asset classes. But right now, please open Demat accounts, because India is at the cusp of the biggest upside which we have due to stable economy, excellent one-time government which is running its course with a lot of reforms, and demographics, which is what he told you, that economies and scales are going negative. Our productivity is rising. We have the biggest demographic premium which is not there in the world. So please invest. And it doesn't mean that overnight you will become a Warren Buffett, but you will be happy with an asset class that you own equities. In a country of 130 crores, there are just 6.5 lakh, 6.98 Demat accounts, out of which some of them are not even operative, which tells you where is the potential. In the US, 28% of households own stocks. That's why it's a $27 trillion economy. Just 3 US companies are more than your entire market cap, which also tells you that you just this year had $200 billion companies. You are aware of them? TCS and Reliance. Just $200 billion companies. Where are we? Today, Microsoft chairman has become the richest man in the world. He has a net worth of $145 billion company. 145 billion. So it tells us that in the next 5 years, at least of the list which Oinam gave, at least 5 of them will become $100 billion and more. So market cap to discount or GDP is at an abysmal low in an Indian context, given that our real incomes are still rising. But there is a slowdown which is evident. Now it means that mid caps discount to large caps may be at the highest I have seen in my 30 years. So I can tell you that there is blue chaps available for a song. If you are an avid or a smart investor, you should be putting your money where your mouth is. Ignore the TV analysts and the rhetoric which goes around in journalism, because they are all there to get TRP ratings. You can actually make money because of fear. Fear is the best time to buy because prices are in your favor. Now we are through with a lot of the storms. What was the biggest storm in the last 1 year? It was the failure of the largest shadow bank called IIFL. 1 lakh crore of commercial paper became an issue, and people or banks or NBFCs got hit worst. But it happens. In Indian context, we are used to startling things, and we have to take it in our stride. The stride means think positive. Firstly, you must be positive in your mind. There will be a lot of negativity. See, every day in life there is negativity. Hence it's called yin and yang or night and dusk. Everything goes with a pinch of salt, but investing is only about being positive and being in the right places and having a time horizon where one's failure doesn't put you off. In fact, it leads you to more success. So mid caps are definitely the space to be, but you still need a balanced approach. You need 40 to 50% in large caps. The balance can be in mid caps, and don't try and time it. Do a SIP, do a good mutual fund, but stay invested, because this course, as it starts to see higher GDP growth, it will start to see more color on the economy. There are 3 pillars of an economy. First is exports, second is investment, third is consumption. Exports in the global context is weak. Except the US, no other economy is doing as well. In fact, Europe is the biggest elephant in the room. There are negative rates there, there is no growth over there. In the Indian context, India still is in a relatively sweet spot at 5%, which is much lower for our past. But exports are definitely on a weak wicket. Then you have investment. In the Indian investment, there is only one investor, the government. Government through capex. But you must realize that this election, which we had, was the largest and the most expensive election ever in our history. For 6 months, the government machinery has been totally unorganized, but they are getting back. They've sorted a lot of things. In fact, a lot of infrastructure, long-term investments will start to see orders of the day now in November. 7.5 lakh crore was the budget for infrastructure stroke L1 contracts. You know, roads, ports, all that which is developed. Look at the development you've seen in Northeast. All that means government machinery is starting to invest. Plus, with the corporate tax cut, you will start to see extremely good times from investment by corporates, because now the pessimism is turning to optimism. And third is the consumption part. Consumption has been slow because the indirect intermediary, that is the NBFCs, got hurt. Hence autos, mortgages, durables, all that have taken a back seat. But the government has done a lot, and I think that this festive season has seen a huge growth back in a lot of that. You've read about on Dhanteras and other occasions, 250 Mercedes being sold, Kia Motors, MG Motors having a waiting list. So like I said, it is just a passing storm, and we know that these auto companies, stroke durables, discretionaries will start to see huge growth. On the other hand, the real icing on the cake has been some of the staple companies, where you've seen stocks like Nestle, Asian Paint, Bata double in market cap in the last 2 years, which tells you big is getting bolder. And remember, today if you are making a house or you're redoing your house, you are going to invest in good brands, that is consumer electricals. I learned this when I used to do institutional broking. In 1997, I was an institutional broker in Bombay, and GIC Mutual Fund asked me to sell a stock called Havells. They said, Sanjiv, we have this lot, please sell it, the promoter is known to you in Delhi. So I went and met Mr. Gupta. If any of you have been to Delhi, in Delhi there is a place called Kashmiri Gate, and near Kashmiri Gate are very, very big houses owned by industrialists which have a plot area of 1500 to 2000 yards. When I met Mr. Kimat Rai Gupta, he had a very good business. Havells is a very big brand, very well-known company in consumer electrical, but he was very tight-fisted. He didn't expend in ads and so on. And then I met his son, and his son said, sir, in the next 2 years, you'll see a welcome change in our stock. The market cap of Havells was less than 1,000 crore, 1997. Today, Havells has a market cap of more than 53,000 crore. And today, it's in every consumer electrical which you use. Halogen, LCD lights, the new problem in NCR, which is air purifiers. So people have forgotten that area of going into unorganized brands for they will put the best electricals they want, they will use the best paint, they will use the best cement. Those days of unorganized are over. Asian Paint, Berger, Nerolac, these are the brands which you use. In electricals, it will be Havells, it will be Crompton, or whether Bajaj Electricals, known brands. So these companies are by default going to see an upside over a period of time. Like I said, what you buy is what you see. Same is the case with Hindustan Lever, same is the case with a company called Nestle. 15 years, 20 years back, it was a company called Food Speciality, and it used to have Nescafe as a brand. After that, it came out with Maggi noodles. And you know, there were controversies, but today also Maggi noodle is the fastest, 2 minutes thing which you have. But look at the market cap of Nestle. It has gone to 1.5 lakh crore from a market cap of less than 5,000 crore 30 years back. So you can imagine where money can be made. In that time of 1999, I also was a broker to a fund called UTI India Fund, India Magnum Fund. The India Fund was a fund where money had been raised from global investors in 1997, and they were invested in Indian stocks. That time I was told to buy, they had 12 lakh shares on their balance sheet of Hindustan Zinc. And Government of India divested Hindustan Zinc in favor of Mr. Anil Agarwal. That 9 rupees, I sold that stock, it went to Anil Agarwal. and you will believe that government of India owned 51%, they sold 26%, they still own 23%. Today, the amount they sold, that 26%, is just the dividend they get from Hindustan Zinc. Hindustan Zinc had a capacity of 1 lakh ton at that time, it has got 16 lakh tons today. Meaning Hindustan Zinc is a huge wealth creator. It is up 7,500 times from that level where government of India sold its stake. It's not that the government did, it's like I said, government has no business to be in business. So it tells you the immense potential what strategic disinvestment can do. And this is for the first time now that the NDA, the new government, is very adamant that they want to raise money and reduce their current and fiscal deficit through disinvestment, and not disinvestment in buying by LIC and Coal India, by doing strategic disinvestment, which will see the multiples of a lot of PSUs get re-rated. So this has been the correlation. As yields fell, gold has gone up. And like I said, when I went home and said that State Bank has gone to 250, my wife showed me a thumb and she said gold is 40,000. So I have to bow down to her because I cannot challenge her. So the lady in the house is always supreme because she has kept the gold. It is not holding, it is a holding capacity. Remember, it is because of your mother, wife, sister, or the lady of the house that you have managed to hold on to gold which is there. And she has made you emotional. What comes in never goes out. Correct? So all thanks to her that you have seen 40,000 in your lifetime. Otherwise you would have never been able to hold on to gold. As you can't hold on to your winners. How many of you can keep winning positions? This much. And losing positions? This much. Losses are ridden, profits are booked. Correct? I'll give you another example. In 1993, Infosys came out with an IPO. You all heard of Infosys? The price of the IPO was 93 rupees. Meaning if you applied for 100 shares, you had to pay 9,300. Let's sum it up to 10,000 rupees. In 1993, if you invested 10,000 rupees in Infosys, what is the value of that money today? After 26 years. Take a guess. 10,000 rupees invested in Infosys is how much today? At the price of 740 which it hit before this whistleblower. 3.76 crores. 10,000 rupees. That is called wealth. But cross your heart and tell me how many could have sat on this profit. 1 lakh, 10 lakh, 10,000 became 1 lakh, then it became 5 lakh, then it became 10 lakh. Would you have held on? No. You would have sold that and bought Suzlon, JP and whatever else is on the street. Not you, generally. So hold on to winners. Winners will only grow, and that means ownership is necessary. That is just one example. There have been millions of other stocks which have done exceedingly well and created wealth. But the holding period has to be there. Can you sit for 26 years? And by the way, I'll tell you, that time Infosys IPO was unsubscribed. Meaning you could have subscribed to 1 lakh shares and got it. Can you believe it? The Infosys issue did not get fully subscribed. I'll give you another example. In 1988, again, I used to do broking, and Shree Cement, you've heard of a company called Shree Cement. It came out with an IPO, the IPO bombed. 4,000 shares got stuck at me at 9 rupees. They cut my commission and gave me, they said we have to, the issue was not sold. Today Shree Cement is the largest wealth creator. It is 20,000 hitting a high of 28,000. It is the lowest cost producer of cement, not in India, in the world. In the world. It's one of the best run cement companies. And at that time, there was no buyer for cement. Today you have a monopoly in cement, because cement is the ingredient for everything which goes into construction, both commercial, real estate and your roads, the highways. You have Ultratech and ACC Ambuja. ACC Ambuja come under the name of Holcim. Ultratech is one. They own 63% of the entire market. Ultratech has a capacity of 104 million tons and ACC Ambuja 63 million tons. Now let me tell you, cement has gone through a cycle and they've come out with very strong numbers. But now if the growth starts to pick up, generally cement does well after monsoons, and we've had an elongated monsoon in the country. Cement should be one of the key stocks or sectors to own. So please make a note of that, because cement is a robust industry and prices only rise high. Their EBITDA per ton is arguably going to be at the best in the next 3 years. So Ultratech, ACC, Ambuja, Shree Cement and India Cement, these are 5 stocks I am extremely bullish on. So gold is again in a correlation. Gold prices are starting to weaken because risk on trade will take away money from gold. But the day risk returns, gold becomes a good caveat to own. Now we were one of the few who were saying the night is darkest before the dawn. Prepare for bull run from November 2019. I wrote this 3 months back with a pre-notion that the Diwali will turn out to be very, very good. And in fact, at that time it was looking nowhere on the cards. But this has happened, and I can just tell you that the markets will surprise everyone on both sides. But by being invested is the only mantra that you will be able to really create wealth. And wealth means 20 years at least, because like you need your children to grow, even companies need time, maturity, gestation. They cannot grow overnight. Again, there will be a spurt for buying in Maruti or Bajaj Auto or Ashok Leyland. You are talking of 200 airports. You are talking of huge growth in LCV, MHV. BS4 to 6 is a one-time effect which is getting priced in. But what after that? So there are going to be a lot of cyclical ups and downs, but the economy now seems to be very much on the bend globally. Plus, the other caveat, the US, China are very close to signing an interim deal, which can happen in the next week or in the next fortnight, which will mean commodities which have been at a losing end will start to see huge upside. Already you've seen Tata Steel recover from 330 to 400, Hindalco recover from 175 to 190 and so on, which means metals which are very, very fast weighted proxies because they are commodities, they can do extremely well. Tata Steel, by the way, is the lowest cost steel producer, again not in India, in the world, because Jamshedji Tata had a vision in 1965 to set up iron ore and coal output just near Jamshedpur, which has made Tata Steel one of the best plants in the world. Only the overhang of Chorus as a leverage buyout is a huge detonator. But Chorus itself makes specialized steel, which costs 3 times the price of normal steel. And they are in a process of piecemeal selling Chorus, which will now come at a cost because Chorus steel goes into making automobile. And we know that the cost of the product today, whereas the hedge was created at 45 to the dollar, is 70. So you've already paid 25 rupees as mark to market, which will come back. So Chorus sale piecemeal or in parts. The problem in UK is there is a very strong union. So the cost obligations there are more. But I can tell you, if you have a 2-year window, Tata Steel, JSW and Hindalco are extremely positive stocks to be owned in the metals complex. Be ready for the bull run. Again, the opportunity. What I have highlighted is the opportunity. Opportunities come when fear is high. Okay? When TV channels come and tell you up to gaya. Okay? Correct? So I often come on channels and they take little negatively to me because I am a hardcore Punjabi. I speak my mind. I don't say in the morning my name is Ashwini and Gujral in the evening. You know, in the morning he will be bullish, in the afternoon he is bearish. You will say, what is he saying? It's not his fault, it's the nature of the business. I am very convinced of what I say and people listen to me, hence I have a fairly large following. So the best time to buy is when fear is on the street. There is a saying, old adage called buy when there is blood on the street. Have you heard it? But when I called up people and say there is blood on there, they are saying, sir, Bashin Saab, but we have also got blood pressure. Look at the TV. They are saying this Donald Trump will do this. The Indian economy is going 5%. So, stock markets know it all. You will only get prices cheap when there is real fear. Otherwise, where will you get fear? So, a large part of that fear is an opportunity. But the opportunity means you cannot bottom fish. Neither can you time yourself. that I will only buy at this price and only sell. Then you will become a timer. Your entry and exit will become, for that you should be using technicals or data where your trading mechanisms improve. But as an investor, you have to always remember fear is the best time to put your money where your mouth is. So we are saying now the Nifty is definitely headed to new highs. I can tell you, before the first week of December ends, you will be at new highs. New highs for us is 12,103. We already hit 12,064. We have gone back now. I think it's just a matter of time. But that does not mean that your stocks start to do well. For that, you have to wait for January 2020, where I think 3-4 things compounded will add to a global bull run. The Dow is at new highs despite the pessimists. There is growth returning in the Indian context as the RBI is cutting rates. We have weak IIP. There will be another rate cut. The rate cut has to be transmitted, and that transmission is going to start from now as the capex and consumption market starts to pick up. Now, there is an old adage which you must have also seen, which I speak of, called FIs sell low and buy high. You've heard of the FIs, foreign institutions? Aapne suna hai? So you take them to be the be all end all. They are not. They are bigger fools than you or anybody you can think of. You are much more smarter. Till 10,700 they were the biggest sellers, and after 11,500 they are the biggest buyers, isn't it? That's the nature of the animal. So when they are extremely pessimist, you should be optimist. When they are very optimist, you should be little conservative. That's how you will make money. Because wearing fancy suits and speaking good English doesn't make you make money. Okay? When the crisis happens, these guys run and hide in their houses. You are still more resilient. You come out to work every day. Even if there has been a loss, you stand up and own to that. I'm just giving you a slightly candid view because I worked for some of the FIs and I realized that they are given handsome salaries, but at heart they are very weak. They only want to protect their salaries. How will they grow? In fact, Mr. Patel is a clear example he has vision for the entire Manipur and that state, and he is sharing that. These are types of entrepreneurs which we need, who are ready to take the challenge. It's not that we are going through also tough time. Businesses are low, brokerages are almost nil. But the resilience is there so that the broader public and the investor community participates. Because participation is a huge thing. And it's hats off to people like him in your region who I've seen commands respect, but is ready to, actually bell the cat. He's giving you all these 59 sessions in 2 years is humongous. Oinam, I must, give you a ovation for that. And it also tells you that you as a people are now going to add to this. It's not in the business, it's your money. You must create an asset class called equity and believe in the next 5 years. Don't look at the TV or the headlines every day. Okay? They will never make money for you. Because if TV analysts they were so smart and making money, you mean that sit on TV the whole day. So, I'm not doing injustice, they are doing what they can, but if it was so easy to make money, then a lot of other businesses would have closed down. So let's be honest, money making is not easy, there are no free lunches. You will have to go through the pain only to see the gain. But by being invested, you have a very good chance, again a chance. There are probabilities that there can be few bad hats which will come. But those probabilities are very few. The larger probabilities are much less because India as an economy, the demographics only favor, extremely favorable for all of you. And you people are, the age is the biggest factor for all of you. So please, whether it's not for me or for Oinam or for IIFL, open demat accounts in everyone's name. By the way, the cost of operation today at the lowest, meaning it's almost as free with we are doing all this. It is because we want you to participate. The asset under management and all will come, but trust me, if you trust someone or a professional, he will be able to guide you better. And once you create these asset classes, your own literacy will grow up. It will increase. At 6:30 I get up every day, I have to watch which side Donald Trump woke up from, What is his remark on China? What are US bond yields? What is oil, gold? In the Indian context, what is happening? There is a circus in Maharashtra, there is chaos in Hong Kong, and the local results. Then I take out 2 buys, sells, I write the report. How many things I write, then you will read that and you will try and make money from that. So knowledge is unsurmountable, but money is very little. Meaning how much of effort goes into creating a platform, seriously. And then you have a probability whether you make money or not. By the way, my market mantra which I write every morning has a 72% success ratio. Which means that if you are not doing that, you are also missing out on something. If you are looking for those trading calls, we give that at 7:30 in the morning, every day, 2 of them. Just yesterday the big call was Page Industries. That is another wealth creator. In 2007, I was in Deutsche Bank and I used to work from Hong Kong. I used to run the India and the South Korea book. And my boss used to sit in New York. He used to run the US. So he told me the owner of Page Industries here, and he's giving us a private placement, Mr. Jerome family. And he said that, how's it so, you do your research. So I did a research and we invested about $1 million in that. We were a hedge fund. At 650 we bought it, and in less than 2 years we sold it at 2300. Today the stock of Page Industry in those 2007-12 years hit a high of 36,000, it's quoting at 24,000. And what does Page Industry make? It makes the it makes the comfort called Jockey. Now over the years, I have 2 sons also who are 25 and 26. Their cost of personal consumption is humongous. It was not mine. For me, that was not such a big priority. But for them, it is a very big priority. So it tells you that the brand image and our internal engines are changing, because their earning capacities have gone out. So they are earning what I used to earn at many years after working, they are earning now with just starting. But though there is no saving. But because they buy, the brands like Jockey. So if I told them to buy something else, they won't. So it tells you that spending capacities are humongous, and that is only going to grow as our, youth start to take over. And plus, you must realize they have aspirations. They want to move from the scooter to the motorcycle to the car. Again, going back to in time, 1987-88, there used to be only a program called Chitrahar and Krishi Darshan on TV, if you remember. TV was very boring. And at that time, the sponsor, one serial started, Mahabharat or Ramayana, I think. And it was sponsored by Hero Honda. That time, the stock of Hero Honda was 25 rupees. I used to do institutional broking for unit trust, and every day they would say, buy Hero Honda. And Hero Honda had an ad, fill it, shut it, forget it. It still has. Can you believe Hero Honda just took out its 25th million bike? And from those small Bajaj Chetaks, you moved on to Honda. So imagine if you just bought the thought of the two-wheeler industry, what expansion it had, you could have seen what wealth can be created. Even today, you have no other third player. Honda is on its own, it's come, but Hero MotoCorp and Bajaj are ruling the roost. And as incomes come, the transient of people from cycle to scooter to motorcycle is evident. Similar is the case with the Maruti and so on. So in hindsight, these decisions became huge multi-baggers. As the economy grows, there will be huge amount of further impetus for consumption, and that money goes into discretionary staples or durables. Which means today people are not, in hottest of summers when I went to small states in Gujarat and all, there is no longer the advent of coolers. Everyone wants ACs because power has become more surplus and AC companies are doing robust business. So the cost of maintenance has also gone up. Today you cannot save money because, like he said, if you had income minus saving expenditure, you would be very smart, but it doesn't work because your emotions are separate. You are more concerned about the family and them, and so in a light way you give in to expenditure before the saving. So corporate tax cut will impact different sectors, OMCs, FMCG, cement, automobile, metals, financials. We'll share a part of this if you want, what our stock recommendations are, also it tells me that a large part of the market is sometimes caught in a misnomer. Should I trade or should I invest? How many of you trade and how many of you invest? How many invest? And how many trade? How many have hurt themselves and made losses in traders and now become investors? A lot. All of you tried it but were wrong at it and then have given it up. You said you blamed it on the market, the system, your luck or God. It's none of those. It is less knowledge. If you had more knowledge what trading is, you would also do a business which starts at 9:15 and ends at 3 o'clock every day. After that, you can go to the pub, you can play golf or go and watch a movie. Bindas. No other business like stock market. It has just 9:15 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. If you are smart, you should be making money intraday. There is no better trader than the intraday trader. This is what I learned when I used to trade for the bank. Hedge yourselves. Consider your value at risk and see your mark to market. If you can control that, you are going to be financially a genius because you can make money every day. You don't have to spend your time calculating XYZ or looking at your boss, how he's had his personal day and you have to bear the pains of his. So on a lighter note, we'll give you more advent on that, but please increase your knowledge. Your literacy levels with a person like Oinam should be much higher, and that will see your participation on both sides. You won't blame the system. You'll become smarter on the trading side. You'll understand what options are, where I can make money. If the premiums are low, sell it. If the premiums are high, buy it, and so on, which will allow you to financially also hedge yourselves against market outcomes and become smart, because smart means money coming home. So the usual caveats, these were 3 months back, what were my pinpoints, and they've come to roost. US 18 trillion hiding in negative assets in almost 8 countries. Gold its lifetime high of 40,000, most unproductive. I can see huge amount of exit once growth and risk return. By the way, the Indian context, gold is no longer what they want to keep for their daughter's 20-year wedding or their child's education. It is the SIP. Anywhere I go, and I travel a lot pan-India. In fact, I've been doing 8 weeks before this and I'm booked for the next 6 weeks. Aside from 5 days market, I also cover these 2 days with spending time with people like you and trying to apprise you of my experience, lot of my mistakes, but lot of my gains which I can give you. It tells me that SIP is now a necessity in every household, because if they are looking at 20 years for their child's education or their daughter's marriage, then they have enough faith that these 20 years in an asset class called equity can create huge amount of buffer, which maybe gold cannot. Government in processes of reinstalling confidence through ease of liquidity. They have already done the corporate tax cut. On 1st February is the budget. Be sure to get a cut in personal income tax. If 5 lakh becomes 10, it will actually rule the roost. You will see huge consumption saving. Maximum amount of despondency and capitulation in mid-cap, where the maximum value and pain lies. Onset of coming festive season could see return of consumption demand, as low cost of money encourages buying. Return of FI flows as high global liquidity chases return in emerging markets, with India being clear outlier. And this has come to play. This was written 3 months back, and consistency, I have not changed that. This is what my outlook was, and I was proven correct. The FIs are buyers, your rupee is stable. Globally, in a context, risk on trade is back. The US markets are hitting new highs. The dollar carry trade is up and running. The government of India is very, very proactive. In fact, they are taking all measures. And yesterday was a big news. What was the big news yesterday? Tell me. The big news was that SR Steel, the Supreme Court has given a judgment that operational creditors are second, first are financial creditors, which means like the PSU banks will get first they will get back the money, then the others. which means State Bank has already done a provisioning of 100% on SR Steel. It will get back the entire 22,000 crore and so on. The biggest positive decision which can come, which means 1.5 lakh crore of NPAs which were stuck will start to see light of the day, because now they will be divested. Gone are the days of Anil Ambani stocks not being touched. Now, IBC and NCLT are the most powerful reforms ever in our country since independence, which means debt will become equity and change of ownership. Assets will be stripped. So promoters who are foul, who are encumbered, have no leverage. Banks will have the best time they've had, which means the next 3 years for the global equity cycle of lending is very, very proactive in India. 70,000 crore in this recent time was appropriated for recapitalization of bank, which means 8 times to that banks can lend. 5.5 lakh crore of growth, and all retail growth is going to be hugely upcoming. See, PSU banks also have a prerogative to supply to large corporate lenders, and they will do very, very well once corporate lenders come back. So all in all, it means that good times are still ahead. Don't go by the index. Look at the broader market, look at where your stocks are, but please continue your SIP, your PMS or your individual investment. These are some of the stocks which we can give you this as a list and so on. But you know, on a lighter note, what I would like to tell you is that we've come a long way. These 12 weeks have been very, very volatile. But for you, the ultimate is that you start to, you know, if you don't have it, like a lot of you don't, please open your Demat account. Start with small amount of money. Put in that money which you have spare. That spare money can actually turn out to be a huge wealth creator. I think the pain in most NBFCs is overdone. M&M Finance, LIC Housing and L&T Finance. L&T and M&M are very strong promoters. They are going to put more capital there. These are in the process of reducing their MSME books. Their retail books are doing well, and we think recapitalization of assets is going to be very, very fast in the next few months. In banking context, you know, yesterday the bank Nifty has started to outperform, and I think it is here to stay. PSU banks have been laggard, but I can clearly see State Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda, PNB all do extremely well. My call again here is, there is a ETF called the CPSE ETF. It has 15 PSU stocks. Please invest in that rather than individually pick. The CPSE ETF as one of your instruments can give you good returns in the next 3 years. Pharma is another industry which has gone through a lot of pain, but we think generic pricing are stabilizing, and US dependence of US on US businesses is falling. So Indian companies are spreading their risk globally. The local industry is doing extremely well, and I think it still becomes a very good conduit to play against a weak rupee. Insurance is a no-brainer. As Sunil here will tell you how HDFC AMC has created wealth. From 1300 rupees, it hit a high of 3600 in less than 1.5 years. 1 year, not even 1 year. And it may be looking very expensive now, but it is again telling you that how they are growing from your sheer size. Your investments are making asset management companies grow, which tells you that still in a country like ours, we are underinsured. How many of you have health insurance? Please raise your hand. Arey, what's this? Please, all of you, please get health insurance. We are also in the business of selling health insurance. You must have health insurance. In fact, hospitals have become dacoits. So don't take that negatively, but they are not, they are cheating you. You need to have medical insurance. Please take that seriously. Increase your insurance budgets, because ULIPs will do extremely well. And insurance companies are no-brainers. in a country like ours, we have very, very prudent names. ICICI, HDFC, SBI Life, you name it, extremely prudent, well-run managements. And insurance stocks have been outperformers this year. But with a 5-year view, you can only see them double from here. So that is a very sunshine industry, and it is inelastic, meaning it doesn't have any difference on your wages, because insurance should be a part of your savings also. Suggested SIPs, the Nifty Bs, the Bank Bs are very, very good instruments. I explained 23 sectors, 63% of market cap in the Nifty, 6 PSU, 6 private banks on the Bank Nifty, all conduits for growth. Now mutual funds again are no-brainers, but please keep your SIP, and remember, putting in 5 eggs in a basket is good. Don't buy 2 stocks in an industry. Spread your risk. Have 2-3 blue chips, have 2-3 mid caps. That way your risks are well divided. And lastly, keep the faith. With that, I'll thank you all. It was wonderful being here, and I look forward to we can leave it for question and answers if anybody has. I'd be happy to take any of your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjiv Bashin. The dynamic leader that he is has always and every time stepped forward to enlighten the investors concerning investment and financial planning. Quoting his speech, it is not trying to time the market that is important. What is important is your amount of time in the market. This makes enough and absolute sense for you to decide right now where to invest, and it's time to buy the stock and maybe forget about it. And I also remember quoting Mr. Sanjiv Bashin's speech last event in Investors Meet, and I'm going to do it again today. That is, investors, buy your fears, because volatility is your friend if you follow the friend. Follow your trend. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us in this Investors Awareness Meet, organized by Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited in association with IIFL Securities Limited and HDFC AMC. Now, before we conclude, we would like to have a short Q&A session with Mr. Sanjiv Bashin as a panel member, Mr. Sunil Bandhari, branch manager, HDFC AMC, and also Mr. Oinam Patel on the chair. And I would like to welcome 3 of them on stage once the preparations are over. And in the meantime, we'd like to request you to kindly get your questions ready. Thank you.
Hello.
Once again, I'd like to request Mr. Sanjiv Bashin to kindly come up on stage for the short Q&A session. I'd also like to welcome Mr. Sunil Bandhari, Branch Manager, HDFC AMC on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for him. And Mr. Oinam Patel Singh. I'd like to request Mr. Oinam Patel to kindly take over and moderate the Q&A session.
Excuse me, I want to keep on a simple question that is not an original question, but I want to share my opinion with Mr. Sanjiv and Mr. Patel. I have known Mr. Patel once. Mr. Patel has visited to my office. It is a good privilege that Mr. Sanjiv is a well and distinguished speaker. Through him, we have obtained a lot of knowledge, which is not available in the book of, in any book of which are available in the market. Actually, he is very genius, and in Manipur, this is a quite new thing to launch this program, especially related to this stock marketing. But as a general public, I want to acquire a knowledge from Mr. Sanjiv and his co-associates. In Manipur, like city of Mumbai, or the city of Kolkata, we don't have any stock exchange office here. Suppose I want to invest a little amount of the 2 lakhs in the way of buying these stock exchange, instruments. When the thing is, amount is mature, how should I get the return? That will be the other major problem which will be faced by us, since we don't have any authorized stock exchange here available at Imphal. Kindly share this point with me.
No, but I thank you firstly for the praise you have given, and yes, we are in the process that we want you to get more awareness, more research. But what Oinam is doing is simple. He's going to buy a stock for you which will come in your demat account. For that, it doesn't mean whether you are in Bombay or Delhi or Timbuktu, anywhere. You have to be having a demat account which gives you the privilege of owning the stock, and your buying and selling is again dependent on the price. So your maturing of the return is dependent on your free will. If the return comes in 1 week or 1 month or 1 year, it is up to you. You are at par with any other investor in the country. Yes, the awareness and the research could be much more in places like Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, but I think Oinam is giving you everything what you want. As IIFL, we can have another investor session where we can at length give you some more advice on the trading sides or the other intricacies. But on a grassroots level, I think you are at par with anybody, anywhere in the country. Mr. Patel can give you some more.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This one, see, I mean, we don't need this stock exchange to be present out here in Manipur or maybe at Imphal. Doesn't require. See, this can be, I mean, accessed from any part of India. See, what happened is that, since the internet has been, the data is available nowadays through your mobile, through your smartphone, through your system. This can be accessed. See, what happens is that it doesn't matter whether the exchange is available here in Imphal or maybe in Manipur, doesn't matter. Exchange da lay to pani na tagana state ki wamada lay na kasu sida kasu darka tadi. Anybody across any family, doesn't matter. See, the invest lo ina tobazai adi paisa lag thoning ba matam da when you want to withdraw your money, say let's say you have invested and you want to liquidate that amount and want to get that amount to be in your bank account, it takes just only 2 working days. Masaya atope XYZ na lay to banati, you can do that. You can do these things alone, or maybe if you want to need any kind of support from us, we are always available. Ma'am Zareko, Okay, aduga sigi question je kainoni any mutual fund ki matang da natragana any stock ki matang da any capital ki capital market ki matang da any question hangbining ba mayam hangbiyo. It can be either in Manipuri or bazai, Hindi or bazai, English or bazai comfortable or karim to mayam khanbi gano mayam koi loina whatever tambane na khanbiyo adugi any asomya question valid oi de kaimu khanbi gano somna hangbining ibodo very openly please raise your questions very comfortably. Thank you.
First of all, I thanks AAA and Mr. Sanjiv Bashin for valuable speech. Sir, I want to submit my submissions, one submission, that I opened my Demat account in the month of September, and now I am trading, I've started my trading, but problem is the IIFL is not working now. That means, sir, AAA says that it is, say, capital, it is up to the less than 10 lakhs. It is not accepted. My appeal is, my submission is, as you know, Manipur is somewhat low income to compare to the other states of India. So please.
Yeah, I'll talk about this one. See, capital amount, I have already discussed with the concerned people, okay? It's not going to be 10 lakhs or something else. Mr. Vikash, I have already discussed with the concerned people, so there will be workout, okay? I mean, not 10 lakh. 10 lakh, you can not the whatever 50,000 or 1 lakh level or platform. I am a platform double the P when I feel the PDC. Adunani, Adunasagi, Moine Jengas take a nothing asagi, PDB software say, very asagi user friendly or bar the company Suzam the course. Cannot involve to Moidasu. Other than as I see the live client things, service to learn a people palm, Hosikitan segregate over palm, Adugineva. Other say 10 lakh, the oil case. Other convigano. Yareko. All right. Next question, anything else? Any investment Gimatanga? Yes, please.
Hello. Good evening, sir. Sir, I have questions. My question is to Sir Patel. About SIP, that sir, you have mentioned that the percentage about the SIP is we calculated in 15%. So, akoina chahi je kayamuk yamna put SIP se tawra akanda for how many years? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Thamakanda 15% se yaudui no. Haibagi question amaka mayamna ingon da su akoi friend cycle na hangwirak pada. So in 1 years akoi mi amana 5,000 gi SIP ma mana yaure aduma in 1 year they had 15% yaugadawdi thazate. So it will take some more time to reach that 15% or 16% or 20%. So when we see the history, that 15% or 16%, how we fix that 15% with how many years?
Yes, thank you so much for the question. See, there is no any equity investment. There is no any guarantee. Guarantee kasulite and the 15% or maybe 16% or maybe 15%. Nobody can guarantee on that. But this kind of information is coming from where? From history. Since I saw you regarding that, Indian market starts at 3 point, right? It has become 40,300 plus now. This calculation comes around 16.5% on CAGR, compound annual growth rate. The compound the 16.5% is sang. But mayam the quote is around 15% high big one. But 15% say nobody can give any guarantee. This 15% can become minus 10 also. 1 year, 2 year. Again, another 3 years may it can be even 80% also. It can be even 50% also. It can be minus 10 also. Long term, let's say beyond 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, you can expect it. Guarantee people not yes.
Yeah, he's said a good point. Don't take 15 at face value. That from day you start investing, it should. In fact, he's given you all the good sides of Warren Buffett. But the big point which Warren Buffett actually made was that if you cannot stand to lose 40% of what you invested, then you should not be in the stock market. Meaning there can be a time when there can be catastrophe and you could be down to half on the paper. So there can be cycles where negative returns can be there for years. But like he said, if you have a 10-year window or a 15-year window, your probabilities will only start to increase much, much more. And historically, he's given you a background from 42 years. But history is no guarantee for the future. It is all a permutation that this is how it's supposed to be. At least I can guarantee you in the Indian context, 10-12% compounded means in 3.5 years your money should double over a period of time. If you are in very, very good conservative stocks. And given the cycle which the Indian market has gone through for the last 3.5 years, I think now is the time of the maturing. I would expect in the next 5 years money to start to double.
Yeah, regarding your question, Mr. Oinam, he has answered, but I'd just like to answer something more. See, the 15% return which we have been talking about, right? So just to give you an idea, like we have got funds which are as old as like 25 years old. There are some scheme of us which is almost like 25 years old. And if you see the average returns of this fund for the SIP, this will be close to 18-19%. This has been the history. So the history is there which tells us that this kind of returns is achievable, but over a period of time. There has been periods, say suppose I joined this industry in the year 2005, right? So 2005, that was a bull run. It was your Sensex was something around 6,000. So now, which is now around 40,000. Sensex was just 6,000 when I joined this industry. In 2008, the recession, the market from 6,000, the market went up to 21,000 by just 3-4 years. In 2008 January, it was 21,000. From there, it crashed. Within 7-8 months, it crashed to as low as 8,700. So this happens, but in the very next 2 years, again, your returns were back. So thing is only that we cannot see a linear return. Say that every year on year I'll be getting 15%. It's not like this. Some year it may be 20-30%. Next 2-3 years it may be negative also. Again the next 1-2 years it may be 21-20-30%. So this is how we are talking about average returns. So sometimes it may happen that you have started an SIP and the next very month or next year you say that, oh, I have invested this much amount and the value is negative. So it is possible. It is possible. But what we are saying is a give time. Give 10-15 years of time and you'll see average return shooting up to something around 14-15% is what you can expect. So this is what we are saying.
Good evening once more. To be very frank, I'm just new in this field regarding the stock market and all this. But through the AAA, I mean, so through some of the officials, I was just trying to open my Demat account. I paid the processing fee and other things, but I believe that, I mean, I'll be getting a Demat account very soon. But I was quite wanting to know that what is the, I mean, coordination between this AAA and IIFL? What is the relation between this and how it is going to work through, I mean, AAA linking with the IIFL? And the official who comes, they are saying me like, I mean, there are two terms of, I mean, forms of investment, like one is a long term, they call it somewhat like the stock market, another one like share market or something else. And that part also I want to know. What is the difference between that?
No, AAA is a franchise of IIFL and he's like an equal partner. In fact, Vikas can tell you, we have just launched AAA also on our advisory firm where we are making across the country more partners, where financial literacy and participation becomes very, very easy. So AAA is our franchisee who is like our partner and equal processor in growth. On the intricacies, I think Oinam will tell you.
Yeah, sir has already mentioned that. And other stock market say owning the business, say any Sinariba, Nomad Sinariba port oisunu, any Tau oisunu, petrol oisunu, BPCL oisunu, SPCL oisunu, IOC oisunu, any Kogi Hobumatamda, any fair lovely Saraiba company. The liver con, the top, any kind of scene everything, Koina, Lairaga, the Geo mobile, magi parent company se Reliance ni moide leiraga invest toroga hariba share na stocks na appreciate torma matamda somgi capital su appreciate torokaduni at the same time good companies they used to pass away the dividends on a regular basis magi laiba magi profit to the gi some part of that investors in the adu su share toweba adon ani ni phangdu se ahmada kaino ownership of the business in terms of shares number 1 number second nasagi dividend pibdo aduga aduni kano advantage phangdu yarni ko clear or bro anything all right
hi yeah a very good evening Sanjiv sir, it's been an honor to listen to you speak. I might have gotten a few traits from today's speech. I completed my training from AAA under Sir Patel's guide and his very knowledgeable team. My question here today, sir, we saw like Nifty, Sensex rising from 100 points to around 40,000 points in over a span of 40 years. So considering the inflation of the currency, like how does inflation affect our returns on the long term?
Yeah, so see, on a macro level, like we said, there are 4 investment classes which are meant to hedge yourself against inflation. Real estate, fixed income, bullion as in gold, silver and equity. Equity is the only asset class where small amount of money can help you fight inflation. Inflation is again, in the Indian context, for the many years previous to this, there was a very, very high inflation bout, which meant inflation was eating your money. But now we are in a low inflation belt. So like we have said, compared to inflation, this has been humongous the amount of return equity has given. And arguably equity and all these 4 asset classes in their own self have given far superior return than inflation. But the problem is gold and real estate are expensive assets. You cannot buy real estate just off the cuff. But equity is your best safeguard against inflation because small amounts of money or investment savings can turn out to be huge outperformers over a period of time.
Good evening, gents. Excuse me, here. I'm here. Good evening, gents. Yeah, my question today is to Mr. Sanjiv. You know, with the GDP looking so bleak, I mean, sub 5, we're talking about now, and then, you know, with so many companies, you know, kind of giving red slips and job losses happening everywhere, in every sector if you look around. Yeah, you're still so optimistic, and I'm surprised how you're so optimistic about it and so bullish about it.
So like I said, markets are all about pricing the future. I think 5% was an aberration which has come and gone. You are aware that there were 3-4 reasons, the biggest being the collapse of the shadow bank, consumption being hit, the veritable Ola, Uber, extension which has gone, but all that is past. Let me also tell you that job losses is not a function of only the times of change. Artificial intelligence, cloud computing are a reality. Yeah. It is not here, it is global. But in the Indian context, the type of measures you are seeing with making India manufacturing base, Ola, Uber run on drivers, not on computers. Yeah. So you are having a huge amount of jobs being created other than that. But like we said, there is fine tuning where companies have tried to protect their bottom line by hiring and firing and so on. However, I think that is the low cost of money, low inflation, global growth not being there, all means India's demographic will start to outperform. Real incomes are already seeing some sort of leg up because of the stimulus announced by the government. And we think low rates are here to stay. Fourthly, you don't have an option of investing in fixed income anymore, that priority. In fact, good fixed income returns will start to fall as the government's borrowing program changes. Government is no longer the largest borrower, given that they are very confident of getting through a very strong disinvestment program. And I think that global growth, which has been stymied because of China's slowdown and this trade tariffs, will be the further impetus. So all that means that maybe 5% as an aberration may be the worst in this quarter or this half. Second half should start to see much better times.
And one last question to you. with robotics and all taking so much of stride ahead everywhere else, and soon going to be in India as well. Yeah, how can you still, from your heart, tell me that it's the demographic is a demographic dividend rather than a liability for us in India?
Yeah, India's demographic dividend is unquestionable. That's what people used to say. In fact, it has its own positives and negatives. So in North, where I come from today, the biggest problem is bad air to breathe, which is also a doing of excesses of population. Yeah. But all that goes with a pinch of salt. You are still the largest democracy in the world. You still have a government which is in power and in majority. And thirdly, the missing link of consumer will make up for the slight evident loss. See, there are a lot of manufacturing hubs which are going to come up in India. How did China become the largest manufacturer of the world? In fact, there's a saying, India is the largest service provider because of the IT, and China is the largest manufacturer. But if you came down to North India, you'd see how IT as a hub is only growing. So, like both my sons, they're both working in IT firms. I never imagined the type of capital they would get and how they can progress. So, like I said, these are small time challenges, but the rising population, the rising real incomes, all add to the growth of the economy. You cannot continue to be a 2.8 trillion economy. You have a huge amount of upside. Yeah. Secondly, your debt to equity ratio, we are very conservative in our style of spending. The new generation is more aggressive, yeah. But the old generation still borrows that much which it can spend. And these are going to be more impediments.
But the young generation is almost, the median age is 25 years old, so you can see how it's going to, impact.
It will. So you can imagine how much credit is going to expand.
Yeah,
and credit expansion is a normal synonym which comes from banks and so on.
Okay. Thanks for the answer.
Yes, question ahum mari kita log jakige aduga lotion na batausi. Yes, please.
Yes, my question is addressed to Sir Bashin. Actually, it has arisen out of curiosity. I would like to ask what type of company is IIFL, and is it a broker or sub-broker? And second question is there any sub-broker in Manipur? Is AAA sub-broker or is it franchise? That is all.
No, AAA is a franchise, which means as good as a broker. He's a partner. And IIFL is a registered broker. We are not a sub-broker. We are one of the largest investment firms in the country. I would say third in the race. Just to give you a background, with Vikash said, from a market cap of less than 1,000 crore, we went up to a market cap of 24,000 crore. Both the promoters are extremely market savvy and very, very quick-witted. Meaning their hiring, firing and change in strategy is commendable, because they've lasted in the last 20 years and have taken the market cap to real highs. Very, very ingenious, very, very professionally run, and I think arguably it's been one of the best places for me to work in the last 5 years. As far as Oinam goes, he himself is a leader from the front, and we've been given as much support as we give all our partners. So there are no owners and it's all more professionally run as equal partners. Stock options are well thought of, and with Oinam it's a free. We are always there to give any query, any. So you are you are at par with anybody trading in Nariman Point or in Bandra Kurla in Bombay. You are at par with him over here. Your timing, your systems, your everything to do with the technology, IIFL platforms would be arguably the best in the country today. So there is no second leg for you. You are at par with everything which is going on at the best firms in India.
Sir, I have a question that...
One more I want to add on here, sir. See, I mean, we are the first wealth management company here in Manipur. We are not only running for the stock market. We do different kinds of services. You call any kind of, which comes under finance, we deal about it. We deal for GST related services, we deal for company registrations, apart from that whatever we have been doing. And we are the first one and wealth management company here in Manipur. Thank you.
Well, sir, you have not answered one question. I asked, how many companies are there like IIFL? This we have not answered.
How many companies are?
How many other companies are there like IIFL?
No, that I don't know about Manipur, how many we have, but they are
about India.
India, it's an NBFC. We have a lot of platforms. We are a retail brokerage firm. We are a loan against gold firm. We have mortgage finance. We have loan against property. We have an asset management company. We have an alternate asset fund. We have the largest institutional broking. I mean, I can go on. The list is endless. Anything to do with financial services is all in IIFL, except a bank license, which is very much in the offing. Once we get that, that should be the other caveat.
No. You please name some companies, some other companies.
No, I just want to answer it. There are almost around 25, 26 companies are available. Motilal Oswal, then again Enzel, then again there are so many things like IIFL. But IIFL is a gamut of financial services. I mean they are doing not only for broking firm, wealth management and other lots of things they involve with.
Yes, and about the sub-broker.
Sub-broker cry then I say.
No, I think in Manipur, I think is there any
Manipur amakhatani le khoi khatani pais.
Oh, that I wanted to.
Yes. Yeah, Arbo. Yes.
Last question.
Yes.
I don't know whether my question is valid or not even. But is the AAA registered with the RBI?
No, not yet.
Or either your IIFL?
Yeah, RBI, we have got RBI approval.
Yes, any more questions, other questions?
Excuse me. I have a question that consists of two parts. The first part is like...
Sir, you are all doing an FIR on what we are. We are here to make money. None of you have asked me about stocks, what will make me money. You are doing post-mortem. Who was that? This is not a detective show. Sorry to say.
that was exactly what I was going to ask.
One second. I have a question. So I mean, Mr. Sanjiv Bashin is very, very well known and eminent, person in capital market here in India. Okay, and you can see him very, very regularly on a regular basis on all the leading, Hindi and the English, news channels. Going say man high give post-mortem to the any stock in the market one of the Kambini agadi question amanitang low ki aduga losalas. Another the pura question lengthy way and unnecessary the Kogisu kitang my kitang seeing the Jadiko. I understand to be the high profile when is the kind of Puzarese, Sigumba knowledge, what kind of profound knowledge. Mayam the Pvt. I mean, this is the first time, please. I mean, everybody in Saya Mayam Susi, so good Piga Domini. Come, other Kambini Sukai, the Kaidasu, Silum the Solo. Yes, please.
Yeah, so my question is, like in the next 5 to 10 years, the FIs and DIs, so which sector do you think the most FIs and DIs are going to come? And the second part is, like India is changing the laws on FDI, the foreign direct investment and everything. So how do I, hedge myself as a small-time investor from the FDIs and changing laws and the FIs and the DIs that is coming?
No, so two parts. Firstly, the Indian context looks very good for the 5 Cs. We call those all India-centric model. So cement, construction, capex, consumption and corporate banks. These seem to be the best places to be. The Indian economy has its own dividend as far as demographics go. We think capex on the government side is played out. The private capex will pick up. Corporate banks are doing extremely well. ICICI in the last 2.5 years has doubled. So look at the market cap. Don't miss the woods for the trees. Look what is India-centric. Look at that. To hedge yourself against the rupee, technology and pharma are export earners. They become a proxy. There is a strategy where you can neutralize yourself by hedging yourself on the INR and the dollar. There are trades over there. You can take the currency market. And thirdly, learn more about it by hedging yourself, by buying some options or understanding the strategies. But at a face level, those are slightly more deep-grained nuances where you must know how the profit loss is attributed, which will take time. So we could discuss that another time. But like I said, the 5 C's is where I'm extremely bullish with the 5 U. Cement, construction, capex, corporate banks and consumption. These 5 will be the caveats which are all India-centric and which will see a huge revival.
Hello. Very good afternoon, sir. And, actually, my first question is, I would like to...
Yes, please.
My first question is, I would like to know about difference between this mutual fund and SIP. And recently, I have opted a small SIP, and which will be deducted from next month. And my SIP is for 500. And for 30 years, I'm planning for 30 years. And it will, altogether, it will come 1.8 lakhs for 30 years. Then, can I make deposit in one go, 1.8 lakhs? Or what is mutual fund, like the difference from SIP? And my second question is, and I have been doing foreign exchange, forex trading in currency for last 2.5 years. And as per the RBI guidelines, it says like trading in two currency pair or foreign currency pair is illegal, and the best currency should be INR. And I would like to know from Sanjiv sir for in legal point of view.
So regarding the mutual fund, the first question which you have asked, right? So mutual fund basically it's nothing. It's what happens now. Suppose I have asked you to invest in stock market. Now the basic question comes, anybody who is investing for the first time in stock market, the basic thing is like where to invest, which stock to buy. This is the general question which comes. I don't have any idea of mutual fund, right? So these are the basic questions because of which people, they don't participate in the stock exchange. So this is the first step to participate in the stock market. What happens is that in case of mutual fund, we have got experts, we have got fund managers. So what we are saying is that you give us the money, we are collecting money pan-India, and then this collected money we are giving to a fund management team. We have a fund management team of around 25 people who will do a research on your behalf, right? They will construct a portfolio scheme-wise. There are different schemes attributed to different of needs. So suppose I have one scheme, so your money is invested into that scheme, and that scheme has a portfolio of around 30-35 companies. So that means you are giving me a certain amount of money, and that is getting invested into 30-35 well-researched companies, which otherwise you couldn't do the research because you don't have that knowledge to do the research, right? So experts are there who will do the research and then invest on your behalf. So this is what a mutual fund is. So there are two ways of investing in mutual fund. One is I can invest at one go, that is known as lump sum. The other way is investing on a monthly basis, that is known as SIP. So both are ideally the same thing. One is like a recurring deposit, that is known as SIPs, and the other is one time. So one time if I invest, then whenever I have surplus, I can invest. So it's just like you can think of a normal savings account. So whenever I have money, I can invest. I hope I have answered your question.
What is the other query? We can sort that out on the forex side. But let me tell you, since 2.5 years you've been doing forex and you are not aware of what a mutual fund is. Seriously, you need to go and check on the net, read more about mutual funds, because this is common knowledge. It's surprising. You should be aware where the world has moved. So we are at the helm of a huge upside. Simple mutual funds are just, you know, and please now don't start investing 500 now and look at the market. If the market goes high, you put in more money. If the market goes down, you take out money. Don't do that. You are here for 30 years. Close your eyes and every month let that go as a systematic plan. You are not a person who's going to time the market. But if you keep making dreams that in 30 years I'll become Warren Buffett, that is also not correct. You will get returns which are subjudice to your ability to make money and your patience. Being patient, being knowledgeable and waiting for returns to come at a back-ended are always the way. Front-ended there is nothing, because what seems front-ended is only a mirage. It can turn out to be a disaster sometime. So that's the caveat. We'll give you more on the forex side. Vikash will tell you about that. Okay.
Yes, question ani kitagal log zakige amma natra ani adu dolo salasi. Yes, last two questions please.
First of all, thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge. I just want to ask regarding about the mutual fund. How come we make the good portfolio in the mutual fund? Because we have so many mutual fund like Mera Asset, HDFC, ICI, Kodak, so many. So sometimes we are so confused. How come we choose the good one? That's the first question. And the second question is, how come we choose the penny stock, the good one? Because the good stock is, we know a little bit the knowledge. We can get from the website, and the small company, so we can make the multi-bagger. So how come we choose this knowledge?
So firstly, Sunil will tell you all about what mutual funds are. Mutual funds, fund managers are people who are designated and who have done a background study of what companies are, how the money will be made. You are right, there are about 40 mutual funds which have different schemes. More or less the idea is to have, see where if they are basic schemes which have a index based strategy, that is okay. If they are systematic funds, then you have to see where the allocation goes. But they are definitely people who are doing this 365 days and who are doing it 24/7. They have a better hand of what markets are doing as far as the bond market, as far as the local size and so on. Penny stocks are not your cup of tea, please don't do it. Buy a Colgate or a Reliance because you can see it. It may have returns which are flat for years, but over a period of time they do well. Hence, you being invested in a good mutual fund is very, very good. If your risk taking capacity is there, then you can do research and take out, but penny stocks becoming multi-baggers is no brainer. It doesn't exist. That is gambling. You'd rather go and play the casino and lose money there. I don't want you to do that.
So regarding mutual fund portfolio, if asked me, you can just sit down, I'll just answer. So how to do the mutual fund? I'll just give you a brief idea, like what are the different kinds of portfolios we have in a mutual fund. So suppose we have got funds, basically if you go to any of the fund houses, you will get 4 or 5 types of different kinds of funds. One we call it as the large cap funds, right? So large cap is nothing, but they will be investing into the top 100 companies. This is what SEBI has categorized, that if you are investing within the top 100 companies market cap wise, those are known as large cap. So these are pretty stable funds. So if you are looking for a decent return over a period of time with the stability, because large companies will give you stability. Then the next category of mutual fund which comes, they are the mid caps. Those are companies which are not that big in size, but they are also not that small in size, right? So a portfolio which invest into these companies are known as mid caps. And the other segment, which is the small cap, these are companies which are very small in nature, right? So if I'm investing into small caps, definitely my risk is higher, on the higher side, so return expectations are also higher. So it is up to the investor, what is his risk profile. Suppose I say that I want to take a higher risk, then I can go for a small cap based fund, right? If I say that I want to take less of risk, then I should go for a well established company. That means I can go to a portfolio of a large cap fund, because funds are different, large cap, mid cap. At the time of investment, you will know it's a large cap fund, it's a mid cap fund, or it's a small cap fund. So it entirely depends upon the portfolio and the risk appetite. So this is how mutual fund portfolio are constructed. Now again the second question. I have seen many people, some has invested into HDFC, some has invested into, the same person has invested into 5-6 different funds, and he thinks that I have diversified. Now say for instance, I have invested in HDFC mid cap fund. I went and I invested in UTI mid cap. I went and I invested in SBI mid cap. Do you think it's a diversification? Ultimately I am investing in the same thing, right? So this is not diversification. Investing into different fund house in the same segment is not diversification. Diversification would be rather, I invested some part into large cap funds, some part into mid cap funds, and some part into small cap. This is diversification because I am investing into different kind of stocks. Clear? So this is how you have to create the portfolio of mutual fund.
There are around 44 AMCs, okay, here in India. Common people, what people misunderstood is that, as Sunil also mentioned, elaborately, I A fund from, HDFC AMC, again B, fund from Reliance, Reliance Nippon, AMC. But the thing is that let's say this portfolio consists of, let's say, around 40 companies. Out of these 40 companies, almost all, let's say 30-35 companies are existing, both the, fund So there is not a diversification. So this part is, people understood, common people. For that, knowledge is required. Knowledge is required, consultation is required, and a tech help for that. Yes, this will be the last question, okay, please. Yes.
Yeah, so you had to have the vision maybe 3 years back what the extent was. If you, 20 years back, if you realized what Amazon was, people were not aware whether it's a bookstore or what does it do. Today Amazon is $1 billion, it's in all your households. It's $1 trillion, sorry. So there is talk of Paytm, but there is a lot of competition there. Google Pay is very, very active. And I think this is going to be a very, very, electronic fund transfers is going to be, payment industry is going to be, and the local UPI, Bheem and all is doing exceedingly well. So it's a competitive industry. Paytm may have a first user advantage, but we'll have to see how and when the timing comes, what is the extent of the industry at that time. It also tells you that the markets evolve over a period of time. 3 years back, Facebook came out with an IPO at $35. In 6 months, the stock was $17. Only to recover today, it hit a high of $190. But are you game, or are some of the old hands realizing what Facebook is? It's a social chat, it's a medium, it's like a how much is the potential, that only time tells. So it also tells us that data is a huge outperformer. Hence Jio has been the biggest gainer because of monopoly and now just 2.5 players and a change in environment. So their ability to get payment licenses and all is an ongoing process. And as it is, you've seen that all the financial technology has been the game changer for a lot of the banks across the board. So we'll be able to give something on that only when we come closer to the IPO pricing. With this,
let us wind up.
One last question, sir. One last question.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, is there any possibility to trade for a pair of foreign currency in the platform provided by IIFL?
Adagi training Oinam available okay. Offline do discuss the words. The offline that you can discuss all those things. No issue. Let us wind up here. All right. Thanks. Thank you.
We had a great Q&A session, those striking questions and all the insightful explanations given by our panel members. Now I would like to request Mr. Komdram Santosh Singh, HR and Finance Head AAA Pvt Limited, to give the vote of thanks as we are coming to the conclusions of this Investors Awareness Meet. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you, Susma. Distinguished guests, speakers, and all the dignitaries present over here, a very good evening to you all. It is my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks and acknowledge all the contributors on this mega investor meet. I, on behalf of Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited and on my own behalf, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Mr. Sanjiv Bashin, Director, IIFL Securities Limited, Mr. Vikash Jain, Associate Director, IIFL Securities Limited, and Mr. Sunil Bandhari, Branch Manager, HDFC AMC, for their presence and sharing a lot of valuable knowledge and experience with us. These knowledge are very much precious for everyone to build their fortune. I extend my hearty thanks to our special invitees and all the valuable guests who blessed us with their presence and took out valuable times of your busy schedule. And also, I must mention my sincere thanks to Mr. Oinam Patel Singh, President and CEO of AAA, for organizing such mega awareness program. Definitely, this program will give impact for initiation of changes in our socio-economy. I may like to thank organizing team for your great contribution towards this mega event. Without you, we could not able to make this event grand successful. Also, I would like to thank print and electronic media friends for covering this mega awareness program and carry this message to public at large. Finally, once again, I want to state that we are almost grateful to speakers on this stage. We thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Mr. Komdram Santosh Singh, HR and Finance Head, AAA Pvt Limited, for delivering the vote of thanks. I would also like to inform each and every one of you that you can always go back and watch this event entirely at Kutsem Live, and you can take note of all the datas, the presentations that were presented here in this event at Kutsem Live. And ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this spectacular event, Investors Awareness Meet, organized by Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited in association with IIFL Securities Limited and HDFC AMC. A very delicious, mouth-watering dinner awaits you outside. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
Welcome to Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited. Our service, your prosperity. We deals with stock market training, commodities, currency, mutual fund, health insurance, travel insurance, personal accident insurance, motor insurance, life insurance, financial planning, GST registration, GST return filing, DSC, income tax filing, balance sheet preparation, GST audit, company audit, TDS works, etc. Stock market training classes at Assure Asset Advisory Pvt Limited starts in the first and third week of every month, morning at 8 a.m. and afternoon at 3:30 p.m.